Who taught you how to do this stuff?
You, all right? I learned it by watching you.
If we look at a subset of smokers who are otherwise unable or unwilling to quit, they're going to continue to smoke that pack of cigarettes. Half of them will die prematurely later in life from that decision. If we could get all of those people to completely switch all of their cigarettes for one of these non-combustible products, that would be good for public health.
Well, hello. How are you? Good evening. Good evening. And welcome to our Friday night show, Son of Liberty Radio. I hope you guys are enjoying in your weekend. I'm actually gonna have a beer, so just give me a minute here. See how I'm doing that? You see. But anyway, how the hell is everybody doing? I see people saying hello in the chat. I got a little bit of a head here on my beer, so I got to wait a second. But Kevin is in the back room, and I'm in the front room. So we're gonna do some stuff. Hey, Nick Orlando, even though you are in the effing Facebook, I see Bill Tarling and Troop and Omicidal. And David Lloyd and Peggy and all sorts of other people. Tom is here. David Lloyd, I think I already said your name. And Mallory. Mallory was the first. Mallory is the first. And James Jarvis is here. Hello. And how the hell is everyone doing? But this is the day after my birthday. And I turned 50. I don't know if you guys are aware that I'm old, but I'm not nearly as old as Kevin. So that is a bonus. But anyway, I have this new cam. You see my new desktop cam? Isn't it really nice? I need to remove my TV remote control out of the way though. But I found some really old 5-Ponds, and this is actually what I'm vaping tonight is Grandmaster. And it's actually from, let me get this on cam, October of 2018. It's being a bitch. There we go. Yep, October 15th of 2018. But I actually have some older stuff too. But anywho, Kevin is here. Kevin is hiding in the back room. Let's just reveal Kevin. There's Kevin. Hello, Kevin.
There we go. Happy birthday, you old bastard.
I am definitely not as old as you. So there is that.
But I'm sending you some Geritol just to make sure you're okay. Oh, James is in the Facebooks too. Look at that.
Yeah, I was gonna do the whole show just with the desktop cam. But then
Yeah.
I didn't want you guys to see every time I took a drink. But
I see you got a little head finally. Good for you.
I'll have you know, sir.
Yeah. There you
I'll have you know that I have a very big head, sir.
Yeah, I know.
In more ways than
That's
one.
good. What the hell's been going on?
Same shit, different day. Yesterday was the actual day that I turned the
Tripper
big
in the Sun starts
5-0,
over.
half a century. We had surf and turf. I know that you don't like the surf so much, Kevin. Every time I post a picture of fish, you're like, that doesn't look like that pizza looks wrong.
I like crab. I love crab.
What was really
Shrimp.
funny though was I posted it on Facebook, even though I don't really do the Facebook anymore, but that's where everybody was saying happy birthday to me. So my wife is like, are you not going to answer those people that are saying happy birthday to you on Facebook? So I was like, fine. I'll go to Facebook for just a minute.
Did
after
you
I
tell her
said
that you don't like anyone,
I don't like any Facebook, but I'm not going to say that there are people listening, Kevin.
I know.
But anyway, I did respond. I did respond with a form response to almost everybody. I did personalize it here and there because our very good friend Cherry Lai, her birthday and my birthday are the same day,
I see
except
that.
a few years difference, but the same actual day. I thought it was the day before for some reason, but it is actually the same day. But I posted a picture of my food because that's really the only thing I post on Facebook anymore. Every once in a while, I'll throw a picture of food up there, but I also tweeted it because I do tweet in the harm reduction space as well as the nerdy comic book space. So what's funny is every once in a while, one of the nerdy comic book people will post on a harm reduction thing now, and every once in a while, one of the harm reduction people will post on the comic book thingy. So it's the same Twitter, but I'm getting responses now. I'm cross-pollinating the people, Kevin.
That's right.
I'm cross-pollinating. Right. But anyway,
and Nick has a great point. Cherry's 10 years younger than you are. So
she is way younger than me. That's why I said there's years difference. I didn't say which way.
At least.
But I did post on the Twitter the picture of the food, and I said trout because what it was a steelhead trout, which is not the same as regular trout. But Dr. Gardner was trying to tell me that I was wrong and that it was salmon, and I was like, no, that's actually steelhead trout. And then a couple of our friends, Mark, the pirate, because you have to you actually have to refer to him as a pirate. But he is also a fish person, and because he's a pirate, so you have to trust the answers and responses of the pirate when it comes to fish, because he is not a landlubber. You see how I threw landlubber in there? You see how? But anyway, he agreed with me that it was indeed a steelhead trout, and that steelhead trout is superior in every way to salmon. But other than that, how was your week, old man? Because we didn't talk last week. I was out of town.
I know.
I got called away to the federal building in San Antonio, Texas, and spent the day driving to Texas and doing my thing, and then coming back. So I got home, and I probably could have done a show, but I was tired from being in the car for 5 hours, so I didn't. Steelhead trout does not taste like salmon, Troop. You are completely wrong. Your taste buds are dead.
Uh-oh. She said this isn't live, Dolores said.
This is Memorex.
It's
here
Memorex.
to prove see here, I will grab my glass. I will take a drink and place the glass down to verify that is proof of life right there.
Tastes like chicken. It tastes like chicken. Look at that.
See, now you've got the angry face.
That's right. That's
but
right.
Anyway,
that's what we're doing. We're making faces.
I am. See, look, me and Logan are both making faces, and you're trying. It looks like you're constipated, or you're bearing down.
We were doing the same face, and he had me laughing so hard that I couldn't keep the face. I had to start laughing at him because he's a shithead. He's making Papa laugh. Can't help it.
Papal, is that
boy is just wow.
Is that what he calls you, Papal?
It's either pop or papa. Depends on his mood mostly.
I think it's Papal, like a southern thing.
Will be eventually. Probably.
Like Papal and Meemaw.
The kids called the kids. Well, she's Mamaw at the moment, and then my kids called my stepdad Peepaw because that's what he wanted. So there you go.
So, this Grand Master that I showed on screen, that here I'm gonna do it real. I'm gonna show it real again. Look. So let me make it bigger so you guys can see. You see this is from October of 2018. So this is old school 5 Ponds. This is before the synthetic nicotine. And now it is indeed 4 years steeped, which is perfectly awesome. Now beside it, I have a 2020, January of 2020 Cemetery 6. And this is also good old fashioned freebase nicotine. But you are aware, I believe you are aware that there's a FDA just released information about how they are going to handle synthetic nicotine, because Congress changed the law to, and I will address this language that everybody keeps blathering about on the media, and I'll go ahead and say this nonsense about following the law as written is not a loophole. I keep seeing people use this word loophole. Now, following the law as it's written is not using a loophole. So a loophole would be something that you do to circumvent the law and get away with it.
In lieu of.
But the actual Tobacco Control Act, before this nonsense of the omnibus bill that just passed, said specifically made or derived from tobacco.
Correct.
That is the actual. So therefore, it is not a loophole. Correct. Because it is the law. We were following the law. But anyway, so this fucking bullshit like took effect on my birthday.
You're welcome.
This just really pisses me off, Kevin, because it says here, this is directly from FDA.gov. Requirements for products made with non-tobacco nicotine take effect on my birthday, April 14. New legislation enacted on March 15 makes clear that FDA can regulate tobacco products containing nicotine from any source. So let's go ahead and so this says tobacco products containing nicotine from any source right there.
Yes.
So how can something that has never been in the same room as tobacco be a tobacco product?
Well, first you got to take the tobacco control math and you got to divide that by 12. And then you got to stick it up somebody's ass at the FDA. And then when they shit it out, this is what comes out.
So,
pretty much.
Literally, they're saying that nicotine that was born in a sterile lab that has never seen the dirt of the land, that has never been cultivated by a farmer, that has never been dried and processed in a tobacco barn, is a tobacco product.
Yes. Well, isn't that to their advantage? Because if you have to grow their tobacco, then you got to pay the fee. You got to pay the price.
Now, I don't want to toot our horn, Kevin.
No,
but we did. Right. But we did tell everybody that this was going to happen.
Well, yeah.
We did tell everybody,
and so
even though we knew it was asinine. We knew that it was a power play. At the time when we said it, months and months and months. Well, technically, I said it when 5 Ponds came out with their tobacco-free nicotine or their synthetic nicotine. like
Right.
2 years ago. I said it on a show, and I told Jay, and Jay said, "Yeah, I know it's going to happen." But anyway, so as of April 14, 2022, manufacturers, distributors, importers, and retailers of tobacco products containing non-tobacco nicotine. There you go again with the tobacco products containing non-tobacco nicotine. That is nicotine not made or derived from tobacco, such as synthetic nicotine, must ensure compliance with applicable requirements under the FD&C Act resulting from this law, such as not selling these products to persons under the age of 21, which we all 100% agree. That's a reasonable expectation. Not marketing these products as modified risk tobacco products without FDA's authorization. Nobody is doing that except for people that have already been granted MRTPs, and not distributing free samples of these products, which nobody's been doing. Like I got in trouble actually this week, Kevin, because last weekend I ordered some stuff from Five Ponds, and I got a nasty email, or not email, private message saying, "How dare I spend money with them?" And I'm like, dude, like. So, additionally, the owners and operators of establishments engaged in the manufacture, preparation, compounding, or processing of, and they're using NTN, which means non-tobacco nicotine, products must be registered with the FDA and list all these tobacco products that they manufacture, prepare, compound, or process for commercial distribution, which some of you guys might not remember was the furls system where they had to register all of their products as way back in like round one of this bullshit. They had to get on the furls and register all of their products, and the furls kept dropping and dumping and crashing because it was like a Windows 3.1 like program. But anyway, further, manufacturers of non-tobacco nicotine products who wish to market their products are required to submit a PMTA, a pre-market application, and obtain FDA's authorization to market their products, or they will be subject to FDA enforcement. The deadline for pre-market application submissions for current marketed non-tobacco nicotine products is Saturday, May 14th of 2022, which is a month away from yesterday. Note this deadline this is the deadline for those using the recommended electronic submission process. An application subjected in hard copy must be received by FDA no later than 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday the 13th. Oh shit, there's a Friday the 13th in May.
I'm gonna
yeah, that's an unlucky day.
Yeah. So how old do you have to be according to the FDA to have purchasing tobacco? How much was that?
21. Well, it's not the FDA. I mean,
well,
the federal government, the legislature, the House of Congress and Senate passed the Tobacco 21 federal thing. It wasn't FDA.
Right. So on the 5th of April, the FDA itself that I'm sharing said that.
Let me move my mouse over here. Okay.
It's funny. It says that the FDA, is that big enough?
I can see it.
Okay. The FDA, the tweet here where I'm highlighting. Damn it. The FDA watches the marketplace closely to ensure companies do not target youth and takes aggressive actions against any company marketing tobacco products illegally to America's youth. So, because I'm a curious sort of guy, I clicked on their little link, and then lo and behold, it said under the age of 18, literally 18. Well, so I circled it.
I mean, yeah, that seems like it may be something that somebody should have edited a while back.
Well, I put pro tip because I'm a helpful person. You know how I like to be helpful. And the next day or the day after, it was fixed. But anyway, I just thought that would be a cute little fun thing to show you, because it's been 21 since 2019 and they hadn't changed that piece of the blog since 2019, December of 2019. So
yeah, this is just one more step in the process of like destroying something. So it says here recently FDA leaders authored an opinion piece on the legislation that describes how this new law closes a, there's that fucking word, loophole.
I can't even imagine.
Loophole. See, a loophole would be something that we know that it's like when you do your taxes, because you know it's also that time of the year. We have until Monday to file our taxes. By the way, if you have not already done so, do so.
Yes.
I will be doing mine tomorrow because I was not doing them on my birthday, and I am not giving them my money because I will inevitably owe them about $3,000. I will not give them a cent a day early. I won't do it. So anyway, a loophole would be me like finding like gray area deductions so that I would pay less. That would be a loophole. But
it's
when
literally
you clearly
ambiguity or inadequacy in the law or set of rules, period. That's what it is.
Seriously, when you follow the letter of the law, you are not using a loophole. You are following the letter of the law, and the letter of the law said made or derived from tobacco. I mean, how that would be, I mean, this is a completely lab created thing that's never been near to, I mean, seriously, next, you know, because morphine or what's another illicit heroin. So heroin is illegal.
Correct.
And that grows from a poppy, right? That is a naturally occurring thing that people process and make heroin from, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a drug person, so I could be slightly off. But in healthcare, we actually have patients that are using synthetic heroin. Now, if you have a prescription, are you using a loophole? Is that a loophole if you're following the letter of the law? You know, I'm just asking. So anyway,
did you know there's synthetic caffeine?
Yes.
There you go.
Yes.
Ain't that neat?
This new law closes a loophole, which is not really a loophole. I'm tired of it. But anyway, and allows FDA to use its authorities to protect the public health from the harms of tobacco products, regardless of the source of nicotine. Have they ever shown any harm at all from this product?
No. Well, I've asked if they've got
and I actually,
what are the harms?
Kevin, I actually played a video at the beginning of the show with the current and retiring head of FDA Tobacco, where he admits in front of Congress, if every person that smoked switched to one of these products, it would be a benefit to public health.
And that included snus and something else I think he was talking about out of context, but it was in there.
Yeah. So this, you know, nonsense is nonsense.
Well, no, it is nonsense. And the loophole is that they themselves didn't put it in there in the original writing. They didn't.
Well, no, Congress.
They didn't think it was going to happen. That's why.
Congress couldn't have predicted. Congress could not have predicted how awesome our scientists are.
Right. But
I did see that our friend, the grumpy old lady, is not going to be here tonight.
She said something about napping or not liking you or wanting me to sing to you.
It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell anymore. So, I did have another thing that I was gonna show while I'm here. I do need to make it actually smaller. I'm gonna think about you naked, and it'll get smaller.
Oh, Lord have mercy!
Isn't that scary? So your buddy Jerome,
for Christ's sake, this fucking doofus motherfucker.
Your buddy Jerome popped up again this week.
I accidentally saw this, but go ahead.
And you know, he says that he received a text message from his wife. And it says, I'm sitting at the school parking lot watching kids turn in to go to school. 3 different cars have had drivers that were vaping while they were turning into the school parking lot. The tobacco industry is genius. Somehow they rebranded themselves so that smoking cigarettes is cool all over again.
You know, when I saw this, I couldn't tell for sure. I think at the smiley face or the weird face is her, and then his response is below it, allegedly, if it even fucking happened. Because Jerry's a lonely little prick.
Well, he doesn't have anything else to do since he lost his job because he was a horrible surgeon general. But anyway, so there was a lot of responses, but I am going to highlight my response.
Good.
Because I went
it was good.
I said, how is vaping, making cigarettes or smoking, quote, cool all over again? Vaping doesn't taste like a dirty ashtray. No one is going to trade creme brulee for that. And smoking is not the same as vaping. If you go back a few years, I made a video for you about false equivalence. Please review it.
That's right. And he didn't block you yet.
No, he has not blocked me yet. I mean,
I just wanted to note for the record that you still are not blocked by Jerry.
Yeah. So I am still, well, you know, he's a private citizen now. He can block us up, you know. But then, you know, Charles is in here. And he says, I would assume those drivers are ex-smokers due to nicotine vaping. You, Dr. Adams, caused significant public health harm by claiming there is presently inadequate evidence to conclude that e-cigarettes in general increase smoking cessation. This is a brilliant bit of sophism. And then he, you know, puts a whole bunch of like stuff. Jonathan Folds, the actual evidence is very clear that school kids do not believe that smoking is cool again. Massive success story, almost 0 among AA teens, lowest ever. And then there's a graphic from the Monitoring the Future survey. Look at these lines, you know, all these smart people, all these smart people that jump in here. And then Amanda puts in the sad story. And then, you know, there's responses here. And I did see you sent it to me that Amanda invited him onto her little Twitter space thing. And, you know, at least when we invited him somewhere, something like 350 times because we invited him every show while he was the Surgeon General and he never responded. But he did respond to her and say he wasn't going to get into that mire again.
Yeah.
That he wasn't going to.
He's got no balls.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, he's nobody now, except, you know,
he should be privileged to be invited to her.
Like, he's nobody now. I mean, you know, it's not like he's getting invited to Fox News all the time anymore, like he was when Trump was president because he was the Surgeon General. Now he's just a nobody. So I don't even know why people are paying attention to him.
Do you really have a feeling that if you're pulling into a parking lot that somebody's, first of all, you got to be awfully fucking nosy to notice 3 people.
Well, not only that, but these could have been parents dropping kids off that are vaping.
Yeah, they're not smoking.
You know, she didn't say these were kids; these were drivers. You know, this could be drivers. They could be the parents. Are you telling adult parents that they can't do what they want to do while dropping their kids off? I mean, you know. So I mean, it was a non-starter for me, but you know, I did want to reply because I did want to remind him that I did create a video specifically for him about false equivalence.
Oh, there's a pirate.
Yeah, there's there he is. But yeah, the synthetic nicotine thing is crazy. But you know, there's even more crazy stuff. Crazy stuff, Kevin.
Lots.
Yeah. So here's a thing. Here's a study. This is a story published by Salon Magazine. Doesn't that sound fancy? Salon Magazine.
Mm-hmm.
It says, study suggests e-cigarettes can cause brain inflammation with flavors affecting severity. I got to move my mouse over here so that I can scroll. Anyway, curiously, different JUUL flavors seem to have different negative effects on mice in a novel e-cigarette study. So
Squeak,
just reading
squeak.
those two things, I would think maybe mice shouldn't be vaping.
Oh, there's yes, Chris, absolutely. Listen, the suggestion that e-cigarettes can cause brain inflammation in quote experts unquote is not written on there, but that's the only thing it causes brain inflammation.
I mean,
mice, fucking in mice.
Depending on, I mean, obviously they're probably putting a mouse into a box with a suction device. They throw the JUUL on there, and they're delivering a human-sized dose to little tiny brained and lunged mice. But even if they didn't, Kevin, you're not a mouse, are you?
No.
Last I checked, I was a human, and my biology is not the same as a mouse's. Things that will kill a mouse will not kill me.
Correct.
Now, there are things that will kill a mouse that will make me sick, but again, the things that will harm a mice don't necessarily mean that they would harm me, because again, I'm not a mouse. But anyway,
okay.
Opponents of e-cigarettes have long argued for a ban on flavored vape products, which experts say played a critical role in the startling resurgence of underage nicotine addiction. New research has revealed chronic usage of these tantalizing flavors may have also caused a hidden epidemic.
Yeah, of course, hidden. That's a loophole all by itself, isn't it?
A hidden epidemic. Híjole. So on Tuesday, scientific journal eLife published a study on mice that indicated brain, lung, heart, and colon inflammation resulting from daily e-cigarette use. Now I have to ask, are they jamming the JUUL up the mouse's rectum to get to the colon?
I don't know.
Yeah, the authors state their findings suggest that daily use of pod-based e-cigarettes or e-cigarettes containing high levels of nicotinic salts over months or 2 years may cause inflammation in various organs, increasing the risk of disease and poor health. So Mowgli says that vaping inflames Jerome's colon.
Yes.
So, taking a novel approach, the co-authors investigated not only long-term impacts, but also differences across vape flavors. Once popular mango and mint products made by JUUL Labs Incorporated, which were used in the study, induced uneven responses among organs.
Right. So what did they do? They cut the cut
the
ass out of the mouse
and pour the salts in there. I mean, I'm just wondering. This was a real surprise to us, stated Laura Crotty Alexander, MD. This shows us that the flavor chemicals themselves are also causing pathological changes. For example, mint elicited heart inflammation and greater susceptibility to severe outcomes from bacteria pneumonia. So, if someone who frequently uses menthol-flavored e-cigarettes was infected with COVID-19, it's possible their body would respond differently to the infection, Crotty Alexander noted.
Now, wait a minute. So did they give the mouse bacterial pneumonia and then they dropped all the menthol on there?
Or they dropped all the menthol in there and then infested a whole bunch of different mice with different diseases to see what would happen.
Come here a minute, Vlad.
I mean, I'm just and since they said may or might,
well, I was going to go there, but yeah,
it's possible, is what she says. It's possible they may not have even done any experiments. They're using these what do you call them? Modal verbs.
Modal, and the first word is if
it's possible.
If and then no, I mean the first in that.
Yeah.
If someone frequently uses menthol, it's possible.
So they're hypothesizing. They're hypothesizing. So anyway, normally when you are a scientist, You actually come up with an hypothesis
first.
Then you design an experiment to test to see if your hypothesis is correct. This is the scientific way we do things.
And there is no may, could, or might, or if. There is
It
definitive
is
answer.
Yes or no. That is
yes.
If your hypothesis is not proven or disproven by your experiment, then you redesign the experiment to get the yes or no.
It's not like when your wife asks you a question, she gets 15 answers. She wants a direct answer.
Maybe.
I'm not quite sure yet.
Are you going to mow the lawn today? Maybe.
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. So these findings come as JUUL reached a $22.5 million settlement with the state of Washington, alleging that the e-cigarette giant engaged in deceptive marketing practices intended to hook underage consumers. Washington filed a lawsuit. See, that makes you're being overly redundant. So they reached a conclusion with Washington, the state of Washington.
Yeah.
So you really don't need this last phrase. Washington filed a lawsuit. That's poor writing. That is piss poor writing. We're going to talk about piss poor writing later on. I did tweet a university this week and pointed out that they're really bad journalists. Anyway, although the consent judgment of the settlement does not constitute an admission of wrongdoing, JUUL has repeatedly found itself at the center of controversy.
Although it does not have.
They said, we're going to give you some money to shut up.
Yep.
Because we're tired of you. And see, this is one of those things that big giant corporations can do.
Because it's cheaper.
Because it is just cheaper to shut people up.
Very much so.
Yeah. So following an FDA crackdown in 2018, the e-cigarette giant pulled many of its flavored products and halted expansion overseas. Now, I don't know. Is that true? Are they not selling JUUL overseas? I just thought that the 20 milligram per milliliter nicotine cap in the EU and in Europe made their product stupid.
Right, that's what I thought. I thought they were.
That's kind of. I just figured they realized that nobody was buying their shit because their shit is not successful at 20 milligrams. But anyway, now limited to mint and tobacco flavors in the United States, JUUL pods still contain high levels of potent nicotinic salts, exposing mice to aerosols of these salts over the course of 3 months. The scientists simulated chronic usage.
Simulated my ass.
So 3 months, they probably made a machine that holds a couple hundred JUUL pods so that they don't have to constantly be switching them, and they just left the machine on for 3 months.
And the button was pushed and they walked away.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. It's clear that every e-cigarette device and flavor has to be studied to determine how it affects health across the body. Well, that's kind of what, these companies are doing with their PMTAs, right?
Yeah, well.
I mean, that's part of it is scientific product-specific testing, right? So we're doing that, right?
First of all,
if their PMTAs are not being blank checked, which again,
right,
Kevin, we did tell everybody that was going to happen, and they called me crazy. But anyway,
well,
I was a fear monger, and there's a certain neckbeard guy that supposedly started his own compliance company that posted on Facebook that I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, neither here nor there.
So this last sentence on that, one JUUL pod delivers more nicotine than a pack of cigarettes at higher concentrations, of course, than the newer pod-based e-cigarettes. Are they talking about like the puff bar? I'm assuming. I'm assuming
because the puff bar is the new JUUL.
Because number one, it is not equal to a pack of cigarettes in what is the word, volume?
Well, the puff bar, I've seen some of these. I don't know whether it's puff bar, but I have seen advertisements for some of these disposable devices that have like a lot more in them than a JUUL.
Okay.
And if you're going by volume, some of those disposables that are out there now could indeed have I've seen some really crazy ones that like light up and shit, like at the tobacco the independent convenience stores.
Right.
That are not, responsible.
I'll make my statement that one JUUL pod has zero amount of tobacco than a pack of cigarettes. So there you go.
That is true.
Because
that is absolutely true. But it does contain about the same amount of nicotine that would be in a pack of cigarettes.
Right. In concentrate. They're not using that term. They're just saying it's more or delivers more. Well, yeah, it can. But
it doesn't matter how much it delivers. How much it matters how much people can actually absorb.
Yeah.
Bioavailability is the most important part of that.
Right. And it deletes a pack of cigarettes, period.
Yeah. But no. I think I saw somebody say that it's like 3 cartons of cigarettes or something. I saw some To Hear Turk math this week.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
Excuse me. That was yummy. These pod-based e-cigarettes have only become popular in the last 5 or so years, so we don't know much about their long-term effects on health. Well, you know what? You say the same damn thing about the vape that I've been vaping, and I'll tell you, Kevin, I haven't really changed the way I vape in 10 years. I still vape mouth to lung. I still vape almost the same amount of nicotine. It's the same style. It's, in many cases, it's even the same e-liquids that I've been. Hell, I'm vaping Grandmaster that's almost 5 years old.
Yep.
So, it's actually 4 years old. But
does your brain feel like it's inflamed?
You're still saying the same nonsense about that, and I've been vaping for 11 years.
You think they might have caught up with us by now? No.
So they're just using the same verbiage that they've been using for the last decade to scare people.
All I know is my hat still fits and my ass doesn't itch, so I'm good.
Is your colon okay, Kevin?
As far as I can tell.
You might need to go get colon checked.
Honey!
Call in a spelunker. Kevin needs to get his colon checked. So anyway, many JUUL users are adolescents or young adults whose brains are still developing. Yeah, I'm really getting on this developing brain thing, Kevin. I gotta move this off screen for a second. I'm gonna remove it. So now I'm not here to piss anybody off.
All right.
Okay, I am. Did you see my icon there?
I don't believe you, but all right.
All right. So look at the screen. Now, the same people, the same political groups that are saying that human brains are not developed until they're 25.
Mm-hmm.
And that these people cannot make their own decisions as adults. And again, I'm not making a judgment here. I don't want anybody hating on me for saying this, but these are the same people that are arguing that children should be allowed to make a decision to take a medicine that will block hormones in their body to change their gender.
And vote and all the other things.
No. They're saying that 8-year-olds, that 6-year-olds, 8 and 6-year-olds can make a choice at 8 or 6 years old to take hormone blockers to change their hormones to go one way or hormone blockers to go the other way. But these are still the same people that say that 25-year-old people can't make a decision about taking vaping or smoking or any of this nonsense.
Right.
Now, again, I have my own opinion on the hormone thing. I'm not being anti-trans. I don't want anybody to be hurt. But what I'm saying is you can't make that argument for one group of people because you agree with them that a child at 6 or 8 years old is mature enough mentally to make a choice that lasts their entire fucking life and completely alters their body. But you're saying that people that are 25 are still developing their brains. You can't make that argument.
Mm-hmm.
It's illogical.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, back to this. Many JUUL users are adolescents or young adults whose brains are still developing. So it's pretty terrifying to learn what may be happening in their brains, considering this is how this could affect their mental health and behavior down the line. See, you see how that? I mean, I didn't even mean that to happen. And see, anyway, so you can't have it both ways. Either they are mature enough to make decisions that affect their lives, or they're not mature enough to make decisions that affect their lives.
So
pick one and stick to it.
I looked pretty hard. I don't have all access to all things like some may. So if anyone does, find it for me while he takes a sip of his alcohol. So I looked for brain damage, brain damage from cigarettes, and I couldn't find any. I could not find any. And I'm pretty astute, not extreme, but good enough to think, I got to find something from the 70s or the 80s, and I couldn't. So if anybody has that, yell it, show it at me, whatever.
Yeah. So despite, and they throw the word in, supposed benefits of e-cigarettes for people quitting smoking, evidence within the industry sometimes points to the contrary. Show it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't make a reference to contrary evidence. I actually have contrary evidence that I could show that shows that vaping does indeed help people quit smoking. We've shown many bits of science on the show. We've actually spoken to doctors and intelligent people about this. So anyway, I don't like it when newspaper journalists or story journalists in general make a statement without backing it up. Anyway, we don't think it's a lot about addiction here because we're not trying to design a cessation product at all. No. An early JUUL engineer told The Verge in 2015, anything about health is not on our mind. So I have to ask this JUUL nonsense. I mean, obviously they did. And I mean, the founders of JUUL said we were trying to find a safer cigarette. So that's nonsense. Anyway, JUUL seems aware of the popularity of underage e-cigarette and vape use. On their website, the company uses a promise to reverse this trend by focusing on restricting access to our products and limiting appeal to our products. So yeah, I've got another story time about the lawsuit later on. I don't want to keep reading this if it's about that. Yeah. So, strikingly, Ray O'Leary of the Cheyenne River Sioux testified that JUUL used Native Americans as guinea pigs.
Sure they did. Of course they did.
Ray O'Leary?
Not a clue.
That sounds a lot like a First Nations person to me. Ray, and I'm just saying, Ray O'Leary sounds like somebody from my family, from the Emerald Isle. Ray O'Leary,
the Isle of Patrick.
It's my island.
Oh, El Conquistador. So this just hurts my brain reading this shit. It really does sometimes. It's their responsibility. They're saying they're going to make a promise. Well, I've seen promises that weren't kept. Plenty of.
Yeah, like when you promised to mow the yard last week.
That's exactly right. It's raining. A lot.
I called my mom on my on Sunday last week. Well, I talked to my mom on my birthday as well, but on Sunday, and she said, "It's fucking snowing here." And I'm like, "It's 85 degrees here, Mom."
My mother would call me on my birthday when she remembered. She didn't always, and that's fine. But she once called me at 4:05 a.m. when I was born, and my wife wasn't really very happy about that, so she didn't do that twice, but that was fun. Why are you calling me at 4:05 in the morning? You kept me up all night. Click.
I was born at 8 o'clock in the morning exactly because I was a C-section baby.
Well, That doesn't mean you have a perfect head. Relax.
No, my mom never rolled me, so the entire back of my head is flat.
Oh, see, there
So-
you go.
So I will not look like, if I get to be old like you and my hair falls out, I
Yeah.
will not look good with a bald head.
All right. Well, good
So
luck to you.
this actually pisses me off because this is actually from Texas. this next
I did
piece.
read this one. Yep.
So this says there's an epidemic of vaping, and this is published by the Prairie News. The Prairie News. So I'm gonna
You guys have prairies?
I don't know. Do we?
I don't know. I've never been to Texas. I have no idea.
So
I thought you had like balls hot desert style land and big ass cities and
look, there's Amanda. This is all like my people that I should be watching. This is a nerd show. This is a nerd show. This is Amanda. This is anyway. Make sure I got my volume here. Let's see what this says.
All right.
I'm here to see Dr. Gibbs.
This is Marcus Rogers with the Prairie News. I wanted to speak with you about something that has personally impacted me. Vaping, or the usage of e-cigarettes, has become a major problem on multiple college campuses. If you look around your classes or lectures, there's going to be someone that uses vapes in there with you if you do not use it already. I sat down with Dr. James Gibbs from Student Medical Services to talk about a variety of topics concerning this banned substance on the West Texas A&M University campus.
High percentage, but I think they've done studies probably about 35% vape. And as far as the percentage of people that used to smoke.
Now, let's be clear. This is a college campus. These are college students, Kevin.
Adults, right? Allegedly.
Yes. So, I mean,
They
there
made
at
a choice
least
to further their
there
education.
now to be fair, there are people in college that are advanced that may be 17 or 16, but by and large, most people that are attending college are over the age of 18, if not in their higher classes over 21.
And forgive me if I don't know any better because I barely get out of high school, but most of these young adults have chosen to sign a piece of paper with fiduciary responsibility to pay for their education, or their parents have already.
Or mommy and daddy did, yes. My parents didn't, but I had to sign all of my own student loans.
And of course, in some instances, I'm sure there may be grants, which they have to be of legal age to get, I assume. So
No.
we're talking about
If you're a
adults.
genius, you can get a grant. Doesn't matter if you're 14 or 15.
I'm never getting a grant. All right.
Yeah.
Smoke, it was more like 20%, 22% of the college age population. And so vaping has become more popular, and our big concern is that it is affecting folks and unfortunately may be making them a lot more likely to start smoking at some point or another.
How?
Well, because they're going to be brain damaged, Patrick. Don't keep up with this, will you?
I mean, we've already disproven the gateway. The gateway does not fucking exist. We blew it off of the fucking hinges. It is not there. It never did. I mean, we did a story like 2-3 weeks ago, specifically discussing the fact that there is no proof that there's a gateway. It does not fucking exist.
If there were a gateway, it would have been from children, not the adults. Period.
Well, no, but children aren't gonna. I mean, seriously, Kevin, are you gonna go from cotton candy or strawberry shortcake or creme brulee to nasty old ashtray?
No.
Nobody.
No.
Will.
Nobody.
E-cigarettes use the main ingredient of nicotine, which is found in cigarettes and other tobacco products. Nicotine in an electronic cigarette or e-cigarette affects the body of the user by going quickly from the lungs to the bloodstream. It causes the body to release adrenaline, a hormone that raises the pulse, blood pressure, and breathing rate.
Nicotine itself can bring.
You know what raises my blood pressure, Kevin?
Mine's caffeine. What's yours?
Listening to this nonsense.
About a lot of physiologic changes. It can increase a person's heart rate, and it can increase a person's blood pressure, is I guess the biggest concerns.
Okay, it can.
You know what they're doing? They're describing me getting on a show with you every Friday night. That's exactly what it does to me.
It could be.
But it also can increase anxiety and
What? This is a fucking doctor
Oh my god.
saying that nicotine can increase anxiety.
Oh my
All right,
God.
all right. I need to learn how to. I gotta take this off screen here for a second, Kevin. I got. There is a way. I have to go to my computer here. I got to go over to my other screen. I gotta make sure that I'm logged in under the correct account.
Mm-hmm.
I am currently logged in under the correct account. I have to go over here.
Clear out your Pornhub stuff.
I gotta make sure. Now I'm gonna go over here, and I'm gonna create a poll for the Facebook people. You losers that are watching on Facebook, there's not a damn thing I can do. But for YouTube,
don't be so rude.
Well, I keep trying to tell people not to go there, but they still go there anyway. But okay, so we're gonna ask a question.
All right.
Has nicotine ever increased your anxiety? We're gonna do multiple polls.
All right. You gonna do
Question mark.
Twitter?
Huh?
You gonna do one on Twitter?
No, I'm not gonna do one on Twitter. I'm only gonna do one on Facebook or on YouTube. There's more people watching on YouTube.
Oh,
so
there it is.
now there is a poll.
It hopped right up there.
For the people that are watching on YouTube. Now, I'm going to go ahead and create another poll. This is not scientific, by the way. This is just an informal poll. We could not use this as scientific evidence.
And answer it honestly.
So I'm just going to let that there. Are y'all still answering?
Looks like it's blinking to me. 8 votes. Yep, people have voted.
Come on. I need more than 8. We need to have at least 10 people to have a conclusion to this.
Well, it goes directly to your bloodstream. You know that from your lungs, right?
Well, yes.
And right to your brain.
Addie is in the chat room. Addie, respond to the poll, please. This doesn't tell me while in. Oh no, it does. There we go. 10 people have voted.
You got 10.
10 people have voted, and it is 100%. The responses are no, not a single yes to that poll.
Now, could we answer that honestly? Since none of us have probably ever taken nicotine on its own, right? By itself.
What'd you say?
None of us have ever taken pure nicotine by itself that I know of.
I have some.
I have some. That doesn't mean I'm going to go in there and drink it.
No, because I have like really powerful shit.
Yeah.
So I ended that poll.
Oh, 16 of you.
So
that's fun.
Now I'm going to list here what feelings
causes me to dislike you.
You feel. No, yeah. Do you? I'm trying to be,
yes,
technical.
Bill. Yes. I couldn't even stand myself when I switched to the patch.
Kevin had this great idea not to show our faces. So
great idea. Oh.
All right. Now I'm gonna change this a little bit. We're gonna.
All right.
I got to figure out how to do. I don't want to have yes or no.
I heard Phil was in Florida last week. I think
this is the first time I've ever done a poll, so I don't know.
I've done a couple.
Let's see. Happiness. Focus.
Focus. Bill. He's just a kid, Bill. 50. I've got sadness and regret older than him. Of course, I was only 4, but you know. Yes, Rog. Reading Pave tweets gives me anxiety.
All right. So I've added a new poll.
I don't see it. I don't believe you.
So please respond to this new poll. It says, what feelings do you encounter after using nicotine?
Can I choose more than one?
I don't think so. I think it only lets you. So I'm not steering anybody towards the second option.
Oh, I can't. All
But
right, then
you know,
fine.
it is possible that you could vote for the second option. Just saying.
I think this is confirmation bias, honestly, if you actually choose that, Patrick.
I'm not putting my thumb on the scales at all, Kevin.
Oh, good, somebody does. More than one.
It only allows for 4 options.
Damn it. The Twitter one only gives you so many spaces for your words. I hate that.
So, I mean, we're currently receiving votes. The 47% at this time says that
This is
when they
pretty
use nicotine,
divided.
they feel relaxation. 7% says happiness. 27% says focus. I would have put stimulation on there, but that could have been construed the wrong way.
Ed must be in the room. He's just not popping in. Ooh, I dropped 1%. What's going on?
Well, we have 16 votes.
Damn, I was trying to win.
16 votes say
That's pretty good.
so half of the people, 50% of the people said, oh no, it went down to 47%. Somebody is changing their vote.
Oh, you can change your vote?
Yeah, you can change your vote.
I didn't know that.
I'm not allowed to vote as the poll taker, or I would have voted for I Hate Kevin, but you know.
Well, yeah.
But so
Absolutely.
at this time, we're gonna call this the end of this.
I'm tied with focus. Damn it.
Huh? Oh, that yes. 47% of the respondents said that they felt relaxed. They felt relaxed after vaping. 23% said I hate Kevin.
Skip's gonna love this on the replay.
23% said that they received focus, and 5% said happiness. I mean, we've had the ability to do the polls this whole time. It's just that we've never done one. So I felt like maybe that was a perfect opportunity, since this asshat said that people get anxious when they
You
vape.
never tell me the extra stuff we got.
Yeah.
And cause people to feel sort of shaky. And then when the person gets addicted to nicotine, then withdrawal of nicotine can also cause similar type symptoms too.
What?
Now, I will say that if I don't have the ability to get nicotine when I want it,
Yeah.
I don't get anxious. I sort of get grumpy. My temper shortens.
Yeah. But can you go 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours?
Oh,
6
yes.
hours.
Yeah.
Could you how far could you go in time without a cigarette in a work day?
When I was a smoker,
Yes.
maybe 2-3 hours max.
Yeah. 3 would be really, really pushing my buttons.
And
With
going on a lunch break, I could smoke, like in a 10-minute break, I could smoke 3 cigarettes.
Yes, because you also were a professional smoker, as was I, right? Correct.
Yes.
3's got to be good. Oh yeah.
10 minutes. I could
hot box.
I could suck a cigarette harder than. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're not going there. But okay.
Our body sort of, it's funny, it reacts when we're doing something bad to our body, but then when we've been doing something bad to our body and then we try to stop it, then it reacts kind of the same type way.
The human body is complicated, and sometimes companies try to take advantage of that function. JUUL is a major brand in the e-cigarette market. It was JUUL that got in trouble with the U.S. government for catering to children.
It seems like the people are pretty smart that sell the vaping kind of.
Good Christ.
Now I want to know, in its heyday,
In its
Kevin,
heyday. Yeah.
in its heyday,
Mhm.
how many e-cigarettes, how many JUULs did JUUL sell directly to consumers?
Zero. Well, maybe on their website. I don't know.
Because you could buy on their website. Back in the day, you could order from them their website. But compared to how many they sold or that were sold, because they didn't sell them to the consumer at that point. It was the C stores. And I know there's some vape shop people here. I'm pointing my finger at you fuckers. There were some of y'all that sold JUUL in your damn vape store.
Of course you did.
Now,
why not?
how many, I mean, what percentage, and this is, again, a non-scientific guesstimate, Kevin.
Right.
What percentage of their sales do you think were directly from JUUL that they're responsible for the sale of versus how much was sold by
20%.
C stores and the like? I would put it out and say that the number of JUULs that JUUL sold directly to consumers was probably less than 10%.
You think I say 20, but all right, I'll meet you at 15.
I would say the vast majority of the product that JUUL had on the market came out of store sales, not from them selling directly. So why are they responsible for where their product ended up if they were not the ones selling it?
Right. Exactly. And
doesn't make any sense to me.
I don't remember ever hearing any podcast. Well, of course, there weren't podcasts in the 1400s, but there were never any real cigarette hating things that I remember, even as a kid.
In the 1400s, yeah, I would.
Right.
I'm sure you can remember that far back.
Yeah, and they don't do it now. I don't think I've seen one yet talking about cigarettes. Scary. But they can talk about this on a college campus.
Yeah.
And you do know that before you continue, that Truth Initiative gives, well, I call them bribes, but they call them scholarships to have non-smoking and non-vaping campuses. You know that, right?
Yes. And we're going to,
10,000, 20,000.
Again, remember I mentioned a while ago that we were going to talk about horrible reporting from a university?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because there's a grant in that article. Just saying.
Okay. All right.
Targeting young folks, younger and younger folks. Last I saw, there's like 1,000 flavors that you can choose if you use your bubble gum and everything else.
Now, JUUL never made 1,000 flavors, by the way.
Nope. Would they have 7, 8, 9, maybe?
I mean, I think most they probably had 15.
Okay.
At most, and that could be way over, but they didn't have thousands. But
the bottom line is, our concern is that once a person's been vaping for quite a while or for a while, they have a higher likelihood to move on to cigarettes.
Again, no evidence at all.
Well, it's likely. That's what he said. May, could, might. You know.
Again,
modal verbs.
When every bit of science and statistical analysis shows that smoking and vaping are both falling at this together, like at the same, and that one is not going up while one goes down or anything like that. There cannot be any statistical proof. There's no evidence at all that people quit vaping and go back to smoking. There's no, I mean, there are people that we're finding now. San Francisco, remember, they banned vaping products and smoking went up. That did happen. So that, actually the gateway from vaping to smoking would be government banning and reduction of options. Those actually will at some point cause that.
Directly caused by, yes.
Yes. There is now that is not a false.
It's not a guess.
That's actually a real equivalency.
And that obviously is much more dangerous for a person, much more difficult to get off. So there's a strong concern that vaping is kind of, I don't know, you call it a gateway chemical, but I guess it's gateway behavior. It's kind of a false sense that it's going to help with anxiety.
Again, this is the nonsense, the depression stick bullshit.
Right.
And Charlie was on this show a year ago and predicted that they were going to do this.
Yeah.
People sometimes that do have a lot of anxiety have the feeling that if they smoke or if they vape, that may be a calming effect to them, and it might do that. But the truth.
Whoa!
So
what?
So did he just contradict himself because he said it might do that?
What?
So first he says that it causes anxiety and depression, and now he's saying people that are suffering from anxiety and depression, they smoke and they feel like they maybe get a calming effect out of it, and it might do that.
Somebody just went outside in the fresh air and breathed oxygen, just took big deep breaths for 5 to 7 minutes. That would help with anxiety.
Okay, now what he's saying is suppress your feelings. Go outside, get some fresh air, and push your feelings to the background. That is not therapeutic at all. This is a fucking dumbass doctor.
So if you have, I don't know the drug I need to find, but let's say Ritalin to make you feel better. Instead, you should just go outside and breathe. Is that what they're saying?
That's what he's saying.
That's what he's saying. I just want to clarify some things.
Instead of taking many of the crystal meth variants that they want you to have if you're ADHD, Adderall, all those things are methamphetamines, by the way.
And I'll have you all know, like David just said about watching birds, they've also on smoke-free NIS or whatever it is, I don't even know. Coloring, they've said that you can just breathe. Swimming is good to not smoke.
You see how good that pour was, Kevin?
Look at that. You got to tilt the glass. Yeah.
Yeah. You see how good that pour
was? Wow. So it might help, but we don't want that. Idiot.
Just saying, I can't understand these fuckers. They just disagree with themselves. Oh, that's good beer right there, man.
Is it good? Good.
Yingling. Tonight's show is brought to you by Yingling
and Geritol,
the oldest brewery, the oldest active brewery in the United States.
And Geritol.
I don't take Geritol, sir. I do one a day Centrum
Silver. There you go. All right.
Centrum Silver.
All right. Addie just sent you a beer. Look at that.
Yeah. No, this is the one right here. I'm gonna have to go back to the. I'm gonna go back to the. If you're an old guy with bad knees, this is the one that you want right here. The Move Free. Yeah,
maybe
that's
the physical therapist could help you.
My physical therapist has the worst fucking patients ever. Just saying. Anyhow, let's go back to this nonsense.
Also, probably just as much as the cigarette, but people have that perception, and so they sometimes think that they need to use either vaping products or tobacco products as a means to try to help them to relax.
Quitting takes a lot of time and a personal decision to chuck the vape. Luckily, as a WT college student, student counseling in the Classroom Center and student medical services offer services to help students quit. Dr. Gibbs mentioned some great ways to help any student that wanted to start the quitting process.
Oh, good.
For people that have addictive type behaviors, if they want to do it on their own, they can kind of, there's a couple of options. One option would be kind of cold turkey. Not sure I'd recommend that for most people, but that's an option. Probably the mechanism that I recommend using more is trying to count how much they're doing each day. times they do the vape each day, or how many cigarettes they smoke each day. And then what I encourage people to do is to kind of set out a plan so that they are gradually doing less and less and less. Let's use cigarettes, for instance. If a person's smoking a pack a day, that's 20 cigarettes. And then for maybe a week period of time, a person can count out maybe 18 cigarettes, so they've reduced their cigarette usage by 2.
Okay, so
this guy's never been in the real world.
I think that this
Counseling a
doctor
fucking
is
smoker.
probably like 1 billion years old. I mean, by the sound of his
never done this
voice.
before in his life.
But I mean, scientific method would. I mean, okay, I'm gonna wait for him to get to the vaping part, but we've had testimony from like asshole public health guys that say that that reducing the number of cigarettes that you smoke is not good. It doesn't help you.
No,
they've said that. So we've always said it's the ones you don't smoke that are important, right? We've said that.
Yeah.
But we've been contradicted by these assholes that say, no. 1 cigarette is just as bad as 20.
Right.
And then the next week, reduce it by 2 more. So they cut it down to 16 each day. And then the next week, they cut it down to 14. The next week, they cut it down to 12. And so what people can do is sort of emotionally start the weaning process, which is great. But also biochemically, they sort of start the weaning process so that they're not taking in less nicotine. Nicotine is highly addictive. And if you try to discontinue.
Oh, fucking. Highly addictive, Kevin.
It's pound for pound like heroin. That's what I was told. Jerry told me that. And Vlad did the math.
I like that. And so if you do it sort of on a gradual basis, sometimes that can maybe be more helpful.
As a matter of U.S. public health, the usage of a vape is not recommended unless to help combat a tobacco addiction.
Wait, what? What?
I'm going to have to back that up. Let's see.
What?
Unless to help.
I got to go a little further.
What?
I think he lied.
And so if you do it sort of on a gradual basis, sometimes that can maybe be more helpful.
As a matter of U.S. public health, the usage of a vape is not recommended unless to help combat a tobacco addiction.
Now, I would like to find a U.S. Public Health Association that would make that suggestion.
Well, we have those quotes from Charles. There's like 70 or 80 or 100 of them now. And the CDC has said it, and FDA in the people, not the agencies.
Yeah, not the agency. The dumbass is retiring.
Right. The dumbasses within have said it, but they've not made it a policy.
Right.
To my knowledge.
So I think
even at the end, they contradicted themselves, except to get off of tobacco. What? What do you fucking think it's for?
I mean,
2%
we say it all the
recreation.
time, Kevin.
2%, maybe 3 or 4. I'd be willing to go 5% of the people that vape are doing it for recreation, as in, i.e., social smokers have become social vapors. Maybe 5, and I'm being very generous at 5.
What? That's my article.
So,
yeah, I found it. There it goes.
Okay.
So,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, on top of all the other nonsense that's happening, Kevin. Yeah. Now, this is not directly vaping related, but it is sort of vaping related because it has to do with people that are in the vape business.
Mm-hmm. So
this next thing is from Yahoo News, which is a very credible news source. So it says here, shop owners say cannabis chemical Delta 8 is legal in Georgia, and they're fighting a push that would allow raids again. So a battle of the sale of certain THC infused products is back in court. Delta 8 gummies have a warning, keep away from children, but prosecutors in Gwinnett County say children are getting a hold of them and the products are making them sick. State prosecutors want a judge to drop an injunction to prevent Gwinnett authorities from raiding and arresting shop owners. So apparently, there's a stay in play or an injunction in play that is preventing law enforcement from doing sting sales and busting these people for selling THC or Delta 8 products. Apparently, there's a problem, and kids are getting hold of gummies because they look like gummies, right, Kevin?
No.
So state prosecutors want a judge to drop an injunction to prevent Gwinnett authorities from raiding and arresting shop owners. Vape shop owner says that Georgia laws allow Delta 8 gummies and similar products, and they want to continue selling them without fear of arrest. Well, then don't sell them to kids, dumbass.
Right.
They also said in the raids and prosecutions continue, their businesses could be in jeopardy. Well, if you're selling THC and Delta 8 gummies to kids, then you should be punished. Now, if they just come in, if they don't have evidence that you sold to a kid,
leave you alone.
They, fine. But I want them to be able to come in there and sting your ass, and if you sold to a kid.
That might surprise people, Patrick. You and I are only really in the complete sense on the same page as for two things. Number one, they are not to be sold to children underage,
especially THC and Delta. Any
right?
THC
Vaping or THC, and we want reasonable regulations. Now, we may vary upon what we consider reasonable, but we both want the same thing. And I'll guarantee, if you put a little poll up, that everybody in the chat room would as well.
Oh, okay. You want me to do that?
Well, you can. Well, I mean, that doesn't matter. I am pretty sure that
I'm of the mind, though, and I've been saying this for years, we should indeed be happy if they bust all the fucking assholes in this industry that are doing shitty stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Then it would clear the market of dumbasses, and the smart, intelligent people that are doing the right thing,
correct,
could absorb their business and grow. And then we could say, hey, you removed all the assholes in our industry now. Leave us alone.
My son, for about 3 months, didn't have an ID, and he would go to a specific gas station to buy his cigarettes. Now, he is of age. He's 23. But he would go there because they wouldn't card him. It's not a main chain. It's a private one. So
I think that, and I've said this, every sale made in a vape shop, I don't care what fucking state you're in, you should be IDing. You should electronically be IDing every person that makes a purchase. Period. I don't care if it costs you 25 cents a sale or not. You should be doing it. And then you could tell the authorities when you go to the state house, or you go talk to a politician, you can say, dude, I card every sale. I have
here's my record.
Every sale, and here is my printout of all of my sales. I have never sold to a minor. But no, you assholes in the industry are fucking nickeling and diming this industry into the ground. Kevin, I'm gonna bash some people for a minute.
Go ahead.
There are people in this industry that are fucking won't pay to fight for their industry. That opportunity is fucking gone and flown the coop. The opportunity that we had to defend this industry as trade organizations, I will pluralize that with multiple, since we had multiple orgs. You assholes were too fucking cheap to pay your dues. You wouldn't fight. When we asked people to show up, handfuls of people showed up in states that have hundreds and hundreds of fucking businesses. So I have no sympathy for a lot of the people in this industry because you had the opportunity to fight for the future of your businesses and you didn't do it. So you know what? Y'all can go to fucking hell. What set me off on this tangent, Kevin, I'm going to remove this and I'm going to go to my Twitter, because the other day I tweeted an advocacy tweet.
Okay.
I made it, I tweeted an advocacy related tweet, and some dumb motherfucker decided that they were going to turn that into an opportunity to advertise their goddamn business in my fucking advocacy tweet.
Well, I know who it wasn't.
And it pissed me off.
God.
And I could not fathom why any moron in this industry would decide that me spreading information about vaping was the opportunity for them to advertise their fucking business in my Twitter. And I'm actually having a difficulty finding the tweet now. It really pissed me off.
I bet.
And I responded. And I said, it's assholes like you. First, I said I would appreciate it if you didn't post on my tweet your fucking business. That this is an educational and advocacy related post, and you turned this into an opportunity. I said, it's assholes like you that destroyed this industry. Or something similar to that. I can't find it right now. But it set me off. Like, it really pissed me off. But while I'm here, Kevin, I'm on Twitter. I decided to revive a 6-year-old thing. So
yes.
Yeah. I wrote this little satirical memo from the future in 2016. I predicted FDA's shift to a nicotine control agency, their protection of big pharma and big tobacco, and public health and name-only groups. And the future even celebrates the brainwashing of the masses. So this is a doohickey. This is a thing that I wrote years ago, and this is from March 30th of 2116. This is from the future. It says, on today, the 100th anniversary of the release of the FDA regulations for control of liquid nicotine. And as you'll see up here, this logo that I had created, it says the Department of Nicotine Control.
That's right.
The Department of Nicotine Control. From the Department of Nicotine Control. And this is an actual real FDA address, by the way. I actually did get their real address. I would like to thank all of you for your hard work. I would also like to remind you where we all started. After many years of iron-fisted control of nicotine products, our predecessors almost lost their hard-fought authority in the early 2000s. Upstarts from smaller companies had innovated delivery of nicotine to consumers with the invention of vapor products. This started cutting into the market share of cigarette companies who were very lucrative partners. Our agreements with them had helped both of our institutions become quite powerful. The the tobacco companies first tried to discredit the obviously more effective vapor products through media, political allies, and even using public health, who also benefited greatly from the sale of their inferior cigarettes. Our allies, pharmaceutical companies, had also expressed distress. To us and asked for our intervention. Initially, FDA leaders bumbled their efforts and lost legal battles with the upstarts. It took a few years to regain their feet. In April of 2014, the FDA released their deeming rule of vapor products. This was their first step in crushing a small but very disruptive industry. I'm sure you have all seen these devices. We still confiscate some old devices periodically in sweeps. They do not look like cigarettes, and it took quite a lot of effort for us to sway the public into thinking. Now, this was in 2016 that I wrote this. This is when 70% of the general public still believed that vaping was safer than smoking. It took a lot of effort for us to sway the public into thinking that vaping was the same as smoking. It was effective, though. In just a few years, our combined campaigns changed poll responses. People actually thought that a device that caused no harm was actually as bad, if not worse, than smoking. Without those efforts, we would not have the power and control we have today. You see, I even predicted that they were going to change. They were going to brainwash people. You see that? See how smart I am? Even today, we still arrest DIYers who are acquiring black market nicotine and mixing their own. Recently, we even found someone still trying to sell e-liquid using social media. He was sentenced to 20 years for selling his harmless liquid death. We should thank the congressman who came up with that nickname. It was popular with the Save the Children crowd.
That's right.
Once the final rules were approved by OMB, because we were going through OMB at the time, the FDA was able to rapidly implement an insurmountable system for product approval and criminalization of a product and sale of vapor products. There was some legal wrangling from upstarts, but their efforts were mainly financed by a small segment of the industry and a very small percentage of consumers. Thank God more of them did not join the fight. More
1%.
effort from them, and it might have tipped the balance into their favor. Since then, our partners, Tobacco, Pharma, and Public Health, have all prospered and been able to maintain the status quo. Our enforcement has also kept the prisons full of vapors, and the fines we levy against their families have been very helpful in keeping the rabble down. Again, thank you for your hard work. Now let us focus on another 100 years of prosperity and our partners.
That's right.
Actually, no, dumbass, because I wrote this in 2016. 2016 is when I wrote
years
this.
Then
I
Now
wrote
it's
this
94.
6 years ago. So it was 100 years when I wrote it.
Oh,
Tom.
I wrote one once, and somebody from CASA said, "Where did you get this?" And it was fake. But anyway, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I wrote this six years ago, Tom. I didn't write this year. I wrote it, and that's why it's dated 2116.
Right.
It was a, it was a bit of satire I published in the very first article or the very first issue of the Vaping Advocate magazine. This was printed on the inside back cover of the first issue.
And we've had some going back and forth on whether industry or the consumer, because the consumer in the end is going to do it anyway, but industry should have been paying quite a bit of those things to begin with.
No, it's not the consumer's responsibility. The consumer buys the product from the industry. The industry takes the money from that.
Correct.
And defends their industry. I mean, that's how it's supposed to work.
That's what I mean.
But due to the fact that that so many pissants in this industry were unwilling to put aside some money to protect their business in the future or the future of their business. We're in a situation now where we're being, we're literally the FDA, the antis, whoever you want to blame, has their fucking heel on our neck.
Yep.
And is about to push down.
Yep.
I kind of like this. They can't see the angry face that I'm making. They just have to look at the cartoon me, who is also got an angry face, but
on fire. Yeah. Logan's mad in mine, pretending to be.
So there is that. Excuse me again.
There's no reason for the businesses who didn't not to.
No, and that's why I don't give a fuck if they lose their fucking business now.
Honestly, if I say anything bad about the industry, they know who they are, and they know who, and more importantly, that they're not. We've said it before, instead of present company excluded, like Mark, Skip.
Oh, no.
Amanda, those aren't those people that were saying that to. It should be
newsflash,
given, but you never know. Look at that.
You see my new icon? You see? Newsflash, it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
I've been saying a lot of bad words tonight, Kevin.
Overall. Well, yeah, but that's okay. You're an adult. Look at you crying little pirate.
No, that's me laughing so hard that I'm crying.
Oh, you're laughing? Okay.
Yeah, that's me laughing so hard that I'm crying.
See. No, I don't feel sorry for some, but I do for others.
No, I mean, definitely, and Mark is still, trying to kick ass.
Mm-hmm. And Bernie?
And, if it wasn't for Bernie, like, I think, Mark would be out of business.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Kevin, do you know what's in your vape? Do you actually know what you're vaping?
Do I know what I'm vaping? I make it myself.
So then, yes, the answer to that question is yes.
Yeah. I wasn't sure where you were leading me on to, sir.
Well, I mean, this is kind of worrisome because they're finding urine and heroin in some West Virginia. I mean, now this is the land of my birth, West Virginia. Fig and I are both from West Virginia, by the way.
When a kid is caught in the bathroom with the doors taken off and the camera's pointing at him and he tosses it in the toilet, don't you think that might have some urine in it, Patrick?
Well, yes, if that was the case, But Tom said he was having a piss, and that just made me think of this news article. He said I was having a piss, like your awesome piss take.
I did not read this on purpose because I wanted to see exactly how many may, coulds, and mights there'd be in this story.
Yeah. So let's see. Marshall County, West Virginia. I wasn't born in Marshall County, though. If you have kids in school, they will encounter this danger in every district in the Ohio Valley. So this is the part of West Virginia near Ohio. Now that makes it clearer to me. That's where James Jarvis is from, is Ohio. So, and you're from Ohio too, isn't it? Yeah.
Well, I'm in Ohio. I'm from Massachusetts.
Yeah. Well, you're
a asshole. Yeah, it's okay.
7 News is talking about vaping. At first, you may think, oh, it's supposed to be safer than cigarettes. Well, think again.
Oh, I will. Do tell.
Prevention officials say it's not. There are chemicals and drugs so dangerous inside these vape cartridges that using it once can kill you.
Holy shit.
Students in school are carrying around these devices. Some are already addicted to deadly drugs, and they don't even know it.
Well, wait a minute. If you use it once, it'll kill you. How can they become addicted? They're not dead. I'm confused.
And how could you be addicted to something and not know it?
Well,
I mean, if you're like, obsessive about something, and you're taking it all the time, I would assume that you know.
See, I'm already in the next paragraph, and they've already lost me completely.
So I just cringe thinking about these things, about the things these kids are going to be exposed to.
Tisk.
Oh, there's a video over here. Let's go back to the beginning, dumbass.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
is creeping into younger grades now. 7 News anchor Catherine Guyon joins us live in the newsroom with an exclusive interview with a local school district who is being open and honest about the issue that they know all students are faced with. Catherine.
That's a nice lead.
We're talking about vaping, and at first thought you may think, oh, it's supposed to be safer than cigarettes. Well, think again. Prevention experts say it's not. There are chemicals and drugs so dangerous inside some of these vape cartridges that using it once can kill you.
Now, when I read that, I read it with more emotion than that.
I think you did.
I did.
Students in schools are carrying around these devices. Some are already addicted to deadly drugs, and they don't even know it.
Would you drink formaldehyde?
And I just cringe thinking about the...
Kevin, do you breathe formaldehyde?
I think I don't remember. I think I produce formaldehyde in my breath, but I don't think I breathe it in. I'm not sure. Am I wrong?
No, but you do exhale it.
I do.
So you are producing it already.
Things that these kids are going to be exposed to.
Would you let your child or teen drink antifreeze?
We had one of the vapes tested.
Actually, I wouldn't be afraid of propylene glycol.
No.
Because it's actually safe.
I taste it.
I wouldn't suggest it. I wouldn't tell the kid to go out in the garage and get the antifreeze.
Said it was urine.
What about something worse?
Kids are vaping
All right,
methamphetamine,
I gotta go back to that.
and they don't know it.
And the temptation is creeping
Oh
into.
shit! I went too far.
Catherine Guyon joins us live in the news.
Where's that blonde lady? Here we go.
Drinking formaldehyde.
Or teen drink antifreeze.
We had one of the vapes tested. It was urine.
What about something worse?
Kids are vaping methamphetamine, and they don't know it. Kids are vaping heroin, and they don't know it.
In some cases, it's marketed as candy, but it's much more dangerous, even deadly.
Now that package, Kevin,
Is
that
what
package
is-
specifically said. I have to go back. It's right here.
For kids to go near are actually proven
Delta
to be in
8.
vape juices.
I've been in the school system for about 8 years now. When I first started here, it was still the normal tobacco, cigarettes and leafless tobacco, snuff.
All right, so let's look at these products. So these first two,
yeah,
from right to left. These are
first two-
definitely THC cartridges.
Okay, I couldn't tell.
Now, this
The third
over
one
here,
is as well. Those are
these
JUUL, ain't they?
four, that's a JUUL-ish thing. These are these are like refillable. This is like a pod. These are nicotine. This one, and the open system. Nicotine.
Now stop before you go back. I have a question. Go ahead.
There's a bottle of e-liquid right here.
Yeah.
And on the other side of it is another THC white tip right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then this is nicotine, and then this is Delta 8 gummy candy thing.
Okay.
So there is a plethora, there's a smorgasbord of opportunity here. Some of this is nicotine, some of this is THC.
Okay.
Now, what did you say?
My question is, if this is all because he's not masked up and he doesn't have his chemical suit on, he's just sitting there playing his day, just talking.
Yeah.
Isn't that scary to you? No? Okay.
No. Because Homicidal brought it up. There was a story. Actually, there were 2 or 3 stories of school resource officers having to be taken to the hospital because of vapey stuff. And one of them was about fentanyl that was not in the device, was actually stored in the battery compartment of the device.
That's what we've seen a lot of then. Here lately, this has exploded.
Behind the brightly colored packaging is a vape that could contain enough nicotine equal to an entire pack of cigarettes, THC that causes a high in young kids, or even deadly drugs like fentanyl.
So those pods were Views and Enjoy. Nicotine, by the way, just saying.
Oh God, he's touching it. Is he going to be okay?
And kids don't know it's there.
So if it doesn't kill them, it's going to get them hooked really quickly, so they keep going back. But if it does kill them, drug dealers don't care. They've got 15 other customers behind that kid.
I wonder.
So how are these dangerous chemicals?
I wonder if Blondie has any deaths that she can tell us about.
Yeah, that please tell us.
That would be nice.
How many students in your school district died?
Jesus Christ!
If it doesn't kill them, they're just addicted for life, Kevin.
Ending up in our schools. This group of prevention experts says some of it's because vaping isn't heavily regulated.
Now, wait a minute.
Kids
Now,
are inhaling chemicals that can do
if they're vaping, if they're prevention experts, how are these kids obtaining these products? They should have been educated enough not to do so.
Now, doesn't this go back to the suicide watch list, that bullshit that we talked about like a year ago?
Yes.
That school guidance counselors have a fucking list of people that are possibly suicidal.
You read my fucking mind. You absolutely just read my mind.
I mean, where the hell are you? Are you doing your job?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if schools are having suicide watch lists, Kevin, please tell me that you're offering, that you're counseling these kids, that you're trying to prevent them from killing themselves. Maybe if you affect their depression, they won't be seeking out these things to reduce their depression.
Whether it's,
I guarantee you, Kevin, if they take this depression stick nonsense even further, and we have a whole rash of kids that stop using nicotine, not that they should be using nicotine at all, but if they are and they stop, and like our very good friend who you call the grumpy old lady, if people like Skip, teenagers like Skip, stop their nicotine, and then suicide ideation increases,
and something
we're
happens.
going to have, it's going to be a tragedy, is all I'm saying, Kevin.
Permanent damage.
It is made and approved to eat. It is not made to inhale.
The few substances that are regulated have an age limit, so using underage can mean irreversible brain damage.
Their frontal lobe is still growing, and it's not really done until about the.
Now, I want to know if this bitch has any fucking psychological, medical, or any sort of background in neurological stuff, because there is no scientific evidence that shows that everybody's brain ages at the same rate.
No.
As a neuro-certified therapist, I will tell you that everybody's different. Biodiversity is amazing.
The age of 21.
A disorder called popcorn lung that constricts airflow when you breathe doesn't sound fun, right? What about pouring hot grease down your lungs? That's essentially what happens with the oil in vapes.
Good God.
Oh my God, Becky.
Fucking people.
Hot grease.
This is
from
like
the
a
oils.
Like a rehash of the past 5 years.
Oh, dear Lord, West Virginia. I am so embarrassed.
And that vape sticks to the lungs, sure, they exhale some, but not all of it comes out. So when that cools down, now that is that hard grease stuck to your lung.
I want to see his medical fucking degree as well.
I want his fucking badge.
Wow.
That's malpractice.
There is
he's
literally...
He's impersonating a doctor. He's impersonating a person with medical knowledge.
There's no accountability for these fuckheads.
Who's in West Virginia? Do I have anybody in this audience from West Virginia? No, I don't think so. There's a bunch of Aussies and Kiwis in here and right now.
Lovely people. We love you just
after time. It gets thicker and thicker. The lining of their lungs could stick together.
This.
Oh, dear Lord!
Long-term damage.
Oh, I mean,
your lungs can stick
to
together.
Lungs.
Their lungs could stick together.
This is.
Oh my God.
Now that is that hard grease stuck to your lungs. And after time, it gets thicker and thicker. The lining of their lungs could stick together.
This is doing long-term damage to lungs that we ultimately can have 20 and 30-year-olds with lungs equivalent to 70-year-old, 40-year smokers.
You just said they'd all be dead.
Seeing the dangers brings about the question, how do we keep kids from vaping? We share some advice for parents and talk about
be a fucking parent and manage your fucking children is how you do that.
I keep saying parenting is an action verb and nobody hears it. Nobody cares.
No, because nobody wants to take personal responsibility.
Fuck me.
Parents don't want to be parents anymore. They want to be bros with their kids. They want to be friends. Ugh. Yes, even Tom's highly intelligent dog knows truth about vitamin E acetate.
about the advertising that's targeting these kids tomorrow.
Oh, Christ.
At 6. In the meantime, if you would like to learn more about all of the dangers students can encounter with these products, visit WTRF.com.
My first question to these people that have all the answers is, why aren't you doing more? How can these kids outsmart you this far? How can they fucking get away with all that? Holy shit.
That is an
if these
embarrassment.
fucking kids, if these kids' brains don't develop until they're 25, What the fuck are you teaching them for to begin with? Wait till they're 25 before they go to school, for Christ's sake. So fucking tired of so many of these fucking idiotic statements that they're making. And nobody's listening to them.
I mean, and
We're
they
the
did that
only
shit
ones
on
listening.
camera. How could they keep a straight face?
I don't know, because they believe it. It's gaslighting. This is gaslighting 101. This is one of the best gaslighting videos I've seen yet.
I mean,
it covers 17 different fucking sections.
It had
of
everything in
stupidity.
it. It had everything in it.
Fuck.
Here,
Oh
you know what?
fuck
This
word.
is good reporting, Kevin. This one is a good.
This
is good.
I don't trust you. I think you're lying, but all right.
This
I'll
next
bite.
one is good. I promise. I promise. So this is from the University of California, Riverside.
Oh.
So this says study identifies toxic byproduct from vaping of vitamin E acetate.
Ooh.
So vaping of vitamin E acetate, or VEA, was linked to the outbreak of e-cigarette or vaping-associated lung injuries, or EVALI, in the United States in late 2019. This was published 2 days before my birthday, by the way. Vitamin E acetate vaping can generate reactive oxygen species, or ROS, that contribute to oxidative lung injury. In a paper published earlier this year in Chemical Research in Toxicology, a research team led by Ying Xuan Lin, an assistant professor of environmental toxicology, identified duroquinone.
I don't know.
It's not quinine. Quinone. Duroquinone as one of the toxic byproducts from vitamin E vaping that resulted in significant upregulation of NQO1 and HM0X1 genes in human lung cells. NQO1 is a quinone metabolizing enzyme. HM-OXY1 is an oxidative stress biomarker. The research was done on human bronchial epithelial cells, human, not rats, human.
Mm-hmm.
According to Lynn, her team's findings provide scientific evidence that could be used to develop control and prevention strategies to reduce the incidence of lung illnesses associated with vitamin acetate. I'm going to put it in there. Vaping. Lynn's group began working on this topic around the time of the initial reports of the EVALI outbreak. See, all the time that we were saying that it's vitamin E acetate, Lynn's group heard us and said, let's test that hypothesis.
Then Jerry ignored us.
Yes. And Jerry actually refused to suggest that people be drug tested, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
I actually have tweet evidence of that. And then I embarrassed the fuck out of him, and he stopped answering my questions. The rising rate of hospitalization and mortality were alarming, said Juan Jiang, a former UCR chancellor's postdoctoral fellow working with my group. Took the lead on the first vaping project in my lab to characterize the chemical and toxicological properties of emission products from several vaping liquid dilutants, specifically vitamin E. I mean, if you're making an e-liquid that has to be dilutant like that, that means it's THC, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Since then, we have conducted several follow-up studies on understanding the chemistry and health effects of vaping emissions. The research was supported by a faculty development award through UCR Academic Senate. Alexa Cancola, shut up, Alexa. Because I said that name and the light lit up.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
See? Doctoral student in Lynn's group was supported by a training grant in environmental toxicology from the National Institutes of Health. Lynn and Cancola were joined in the research by C.M. Sabir Ahmed, Kunpeng Chen, and Jin Wai Chen. I'm not messing those names up on purpose. I'm trying very hard. The paper is titled "Formation of Reoxidative Duroquinone from Vaping of Vitamin E Acetate Contributes to." So anyway, Their paper proves that this is the mechanism of damage. This is what's causing the damage when using vitamin E acetate.
They didn't mention their lungs sticking together, Patrick. I'm
No,
very
they did not
disappointed.
talk about congealed fat in your lungs.
Oh,
They
my
did
God.
not. They did not.
I actually, there's a couple moments like where it says vaping instead of THC or whatever, but in general, this one is.
Well, by and large, they
you
did
not
point out
disappoint.
vitamin E acetate vaping, and in a couple places in the middle of the article, they didn't point out vitamin E acetate.
You did not disappoint me on this one. This one was, and I did not
See, I
pre-read,
told you.
so I don't trust you. You know I don't. I don't even like you, but that one's pretty good.
Yeah.
So somebody should find that fucking idiot in idiots plural in Virginia, West Virginia, and send them this fucking thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God, what a fucking train wreck! This was good.
So, by the way, guys, could you please? Could you please? It's in the show notes. Tom Morowitz, read the Facebook show notes. Please go to my Twitter or just go to My Safe Society and follow that. That's Dr. Mark Tyndall, My Safe Supply or Society, and just retweet everything, please. Pretty please. I won't give you no sugar though. That's outside of.
Which one was this? Yeah.
That one was the
Inside UCR, yes.
Yeah, that one.
Okay. I'll put it in the YouTube, Tom. I got it. So you don't have to chase it.
Stop it. It's in the fucking show notes. I put them in there so that you guys can't ask me that question.
I know, but Skip might come in here tomorrow and then she's gonna say, hey, you didn't put them in there. There, it's in there.
It's actually in the YouTube. It's on the YouTube of the show.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't read. Oh,
yes,
yeah,
all the links are there. Look, I'll show it on screen. I will show it on screen. Look at all. This is the YouTube. Look. There's all the fucking links right there. Boom, boom, boom. All the links. Please do not promote laziness, Kevin.
We just watched Laziness 5 minutes ago.
No, I'm trying to teach these people how to think for themselves.
Oh. I can do that.
These people, specifically Tom. I'm trying to help Tom. So this asshole.
I didn't see this one either. Oh boy.
You didn't? I even like made a nasty comment on this one. So anyway, this is the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Yeah.
This is in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It says teenagers' near-death vaping experience leads to advocacy to help other teens quit e-cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
And his name is David Ament. Ament. A-M-E-N-T. I challenge you. I'm not Daniel, not David. Daniel Ament. If you actually go into Google and you type in here, I'll do it right in front of you. Daniel Ament vaping. Now you're going to see a lot of articles. And if you look by the timestamps, like here, this is from January of 2020. These are all Daniel. Now, if you go down a ways and you find some of the earlier articles that are about this gentleman, this young child, this person, you're going to find that in older articles, he admitted to vaping THC as an underage person. Now, don't go for the new ones because the new ones, for some reason, omit the fact that he admitted to vaping THC. But say, here, let's go to the 2-year-old one that's January of 2 years ago. I saw one here that said January 30th. So this is Good Morning America. And let's see. A teenage boy whose lungs were damaged by vaping is on the mend after having life-saving surgery. Blah, blah, blah. It started off just whenever I'd be with my friends. He began vaping using popular flavored cartridges and occasional THC pods. And would even take hits of e-cigarettes at lunch with friends. Okay, so we already know that he was a minor because it's he's 17. We already know that in places where minor, and obviously we already know because CDC has already said that they believe, and then obviously we've done tests afterwards. Every product that was tested contains THC. Everyone. Now, this kid, by the way, if you do a search for him, you'll find out that he's on the board. On the board of several anti-vaping organizations now. He is now a spokesperson.
So he's a serial fuckhead.
Not only did this brat break the law, his choices were poor choices, and God forbid, I feel sorry for kids that make bad choices. However, he already admitted to the truth, and now he's profiting by spreading misinformation that could scare people away from a life-saving alternative. So I'm not very happy about this. But anyway, let's open this. This is the new article. They're celebrating Daniel in this article. And this is from 4 days ago. It says, teenagers' near-death vaping experience leads to advocacy to help other teens quit e-cigarettes. Okay, that's fine. Teens shouldn't vape. But anyway, although only 16 at the time, Daniel Ament was pretty certain about what he planned to do after graduating high school. His ultimate goal was to attend the U.S. Navy Academy and pursue a career in the military as a Navy SEAL. Now, I'm not making a judgment call here, Kevin, but you see this picture of this scrawny-looking kid?
Yes. I do.
Now, to get a placement at the Naval Academy, you literally have to have a fucking letter from a state senator or congressperson. You have to be the top of your class and to have some sort of physical ability that would make you a good candidate for the U.S. Naval Academy. Now, as my nephew just finished Special Forces training, I will tell you that only the best of the best of the best get to be Special Forces, and the best of the best of the best of the best get to be Navy SEALs.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, I'm not making it. I'm just saying this kid doesn't really look like he had any realistic expectations.
No.
But those plans have been put on indefinite pause. A vaping-related illness led to 29 days on life support before receiving a double lung transplant, the first in the world due to a vaping. Now, see, they misspelled world and said word. Now, I've already sent a letter to or a message to this school saying that this was piss poor reporting, but their spell checker also their proofreader also missed one typo already. It's been a struggle, Daniel told participants at the March Clearing the Air conference produced annually by UAPB's Minority Initiative Subrecipient Grant Office. So he got a fucking grant. I get very nauseous. It's hard to get out of bed some days, and even harder to eat without being nauseous due to me not remembering much before my transplant. I've suffered from a lot of trauma, anxiety, nightmares, delusions due to drugs and memory loss. Well, you shouldn't have been vaping that THC from the black market then, kiddo. Vaping is the use of e-cigarettes. That is not true. You can vape many things, but e-cigarettes is synonymous with nicotine.
Mm-hmm.
If you're vaping THC, it is not an e-cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, they vary in appearance, with some e-cigarettes looking like regular cigarettes, cigars, or pipes. Some look like USB flash drives, pens, and other everyday items like watches. I don't even want to get started on that one.
No.
So the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention warns that the use of e-cigarettes is unsafe for kids, teens, and young adults because most e-cigarettes contain nicotine, and nicotine is highly addictive and can harm adolescent brain development, which continues into the early to mid-20s.
Uh-huh.
So this is the point where they would normally insert a paragraph talking about how the CDC has stated that all of the known victims of VEA vaping, or what used to be called E-Valley, were suffered by people that had vaped illicit black market THC vaping products.
Yep.
They omitted that fact from the news article.
Well,
Because this kid, they're celebrating this lying little brat here because he doesn't want to. He wants to, since he can't be a Navy SEAL. The scrawny little bastard is going around lying to people and misinforming people and brainwashing people and making money doing it.
Scary, isn't it?
Yes. So they also contain, now see down here, they also can contain other harmful substances besides nicotine. No, if it's not a nicotine vape, it is not an e-cigarette. It is a completely different thing. Right, Kevin?
Can. That's modal enough.
The atomizer is completely different. It's a different technology. It's a different, you can't.
That's what I've been told.
I can't put THC oils in my K-Fun.
Correct. Not with nicotine.
It will not vaporize.
Right. It's not the same ohms, watts,
No,
volts, whatever.
it's not. Well, I don't know about that. I think egos, like, that's why most pre-filled THC cartridges are using like an ego battery. But anyway, they can also contain other harmful substances besides nicotine, which is one of the reasons why the Arkansas Department of Health has issued a warning about the risk of lung illness from vaping, except they should include the words vitamin E acetate containing products. It has been a hard journey due to issues mentally and physically, Daniel said. I've struggled with hanging out with my friends, even outside of COVID-19. Unfortunately, I missed the last 2 years of high school and special events like prom, and nobody was going to invite you to prom, you little brat.
Oh my God.
Man, am I being mean now? Am I yelling at a 17-year-old kid? Like,
is he still 17? Oh my
yeah,
God.
I would assume, yeah.
Well, you know how their brain damages. So
I missed the last 2 years of high school and special events like prom and homecoming, but not being able to graduate with friends led to lost connections, and I lost sight of goals. Well, no, now you have a new goal. You're profiting off of your lies. Daniel said he tried to quit vaping before he became gravely ill. I got injured during cross country. Due to my injury, I could no longer be involved in sports activities. That alone would have prevented you from going to the U.S. Naval Academy.
Yeah, so the dream could have been real, maybe, but yeah.
Normally, if you've had like orthopedic issues, you can't even get a job with UPS, let alone.
I was gonna say you're not even getting in the service.
No, they might take you for like depending on if you're smart, you could actually do desk work. But yeah, you're not getting special forces training if you have orthopedic issues, period.
No.
Anyway, I had more time on my hands without sports. With vaping being so popular amongst my friend group, so now he's blaming his friends. I eventually tried it and became continuous. I saw how much I began to vape and didn't want it to be a continuous thing for me. So for a short amount of time, I restrained myself from vaping when I was alone to try stop vaping totally.
He wrote it himself, didn't he?
Well, he's saying in totality.
Yeah.
But that doesn't even make... They should be fucking proofreading this stuff. The CD reported in 2019 that 29.2% of Arkansas high school youth reported that they use some kind of tobacco product, including e-cigarettes. So they're saying over a quarter of Arkansas teenagers use some sort of tobacco product, Kevin. That's a lot.
Well, then you got to figure out if it's 30 days. Then you got to figure out if it's actually THC. Then you got to figure out if it's skull.
Yeah. Daniel said, because vaping is so addictive, students are always looking for a way to get a smoke. So now are you... You see what I'm saying there, Kevin? You see what
Christ.
Vaping is so addictive, students are always looking for a way to get a smoke.
Right.
Yeah. Students would vape in the bathroom at school most of the time, boys and girls. They'd also vape in class a lot by having it up their sleeve or in their fist.
Well, sure.
I don't even want to know what he's doing with, what people are doing with their fist to him. To avoid having obvious smoke, they keep inhaling or blow smoke in their shirt so it would not be noticeable. Teachers aren't aware that it was happening because they weren't familiar. I hope now it can be prevented due to the increase in awareness. Now, here's the fun part.
Now, everybody would be aware of this, but all right.
Yeah. Now, more than 2 years into his recovery, David devotes his time by spreading the word about harmful effects of vaping. He has launched the organization Fight for Wellness to educate teens about the dangers and to share his story about how vaping THC, I'm adding that because has changed the course of his life. If you're currently vaping and looking to quit, reach out to an adult, whether it's your parents, mentor, teacher, etc. Ask for some assistance. You can't do it alone. Developing a contrasting interest is also a great way to refrain from vaping.
Hi, I'm Daniel. Have you heard the good news? I'm trying to spread the word.
So anyway, this was, like I said, this was published by the University of Arkansas, Pine Bluff.
Patrick, I'm going to go here. I don't have the will to slap him. That's all I'm going to say. That cracked me up.
Funny.
What the fuck is all that? Oh my God. And people are just cramming it up his ass. So good for him.
So
Stu's right there. So I already know what Stu's doing. Yep.
So this is another article.
Yep. There you go.
Michigan teen who needed double lung transplant finally admits he vaped marijuana.
Well, that's uncomfortable.
But the media is still clouding the issue.
So is he.
So, yes, Stu dropped
the bomb.
You,
Stu. Good for you, Stu.
This kid,
Mike,
started a non-profit to profit off of his criminal activity.
Next thing you're going to tell me it's going to be a political front group.
Oh, it is. Oh, really, Kevin? You want me to do that? Okay, Daniel Ament.
Oh, fuck.
Daniel Ament.
I still don't have the will to slap him.
Wait.
You guys can use that at will if you like.
Where's it at?
Oh my God.
Oh, here it is. Here it is, shithead. I'll show you what political front group. Look at this. You see right here? Parents
Is he
Against
on there?
Vaping. You see this?
I can't rub it, make it bigger.
Oh, they moved it. You see what they did?
Oh,
They
Go back to
knew
the-
I was gonna go.
Go back to the. What does it say? I can't read it. It's too small.
He's on the board, or he was.
Oh my god!
But maybe they took him off when they realized that we were holding all of the cards, and we knew that motherfucker was vaping THC.
You know, I and I've said this before, I think on this show, and I probably will again. I really thought all these years until I started vaping that all of these public health
They scrubbed it. They took it off their website.
No shit. I thought that the heart, cancer, lung, body parts groups, March of Dimes, PETA, you name a group, and I thought they were all good people. Academy for Pediatric, whatever the fuck they are, they're all bullshit people. Every fucking one of those people, or I'm sorry, organizations are all bullshit. And when you can say heart, lung, and cancer are bullshit, as an example, nobody from the American Cancer Society came to my father's house as he was dying. Nobody, not one. So anyway.
Okay, so
silly.
Here, I found my response here. So, Southern Vapor tweets the Vape World's little widget thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's really odd is Southern Vapor is a vapor.
Mm-hmm.
William Billy is a vapor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're arguing with each other in this thread.
Yeah, I didn't see
Which
it.
doesn't make any fucking sense to me. That these two people are both arguing with each other and they're both vapors. So I'm like, okay, the story uses the term vaping and ties the term only to nicotine, makes no mention of the actual cause of the near-death experience he suffered from and correlates his situation to ends. I wanted to use their word, which has been proven false. He used illicit THC carts. That is not what this story says.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I overtweeted, to use your word.
Good.
I overtweeted this so that I could tag the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff.
Because they get away with it, period.
I'm making a face, but you can't see it right now.
Pine Bluff.
So this is my tweet. This is the worst reporting ever published by a so-called university I've ever seen. He admitted to vaping THC, probably from an illicit source. You completely omitted that. You ignore that the CDC has linked EVALI to vitamin E acetate found in black market THC products.
Mm-hmm.
And I should add on, you need to proofread your fucking article.
Mm-hmm.
Even for Arkansas, this is an asinine tweet. This is the motherfucker right here, by the way, that I couldn't find earlier.
Yeah.
This piece of shit decides to advertise his. So I said, I would prefer that you don't use my educational / advocacy post to advertise your product. This is the worst aspect of the vaping industry. Business owners who've never actively defended their industry, trying to capitalize on educational opportunities to show product.
Mm-hmm.
I knew I would find it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Virant Uzmani is probably from some foreign country.
Yeah.
He's Turkish. But still.
Mm-hmm. Either way.
This Turkish douchebag, and not all people from Turkey are douchebags, but this particular one is. Because I said Turkish douchebag, and I wanted to make sure that everybody understood. I was not blanketly saying that every Turkish person is a douchebag, but this particular one is.
Exactly.
Decided to sell his Kingston brand e-liquid on my fucking Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have banned it or blocked it, but I did want to be able to like call it out so that people could see it.
Yep.
I will probably banish him to the sodomite aisle of my Twitter feed.
Speaking of Twitter,
tweet.
I can share.
Oh yeah, there was something that you wanted to talk about.
I can share the Victor screen.
Okay.
When I get it over here, I already pre.
First, I'm going to do this. First, I'm going to reach over here and grab my beer.
Fine, you're allowed. At 50 odd years old, you should deserve that drink. You've worked diligently.
Well, I wouldn't call it work, but okay.
I wouldn't call it diligent either, but all right.
Yeah.
So, Pirate, I think he's gone to bed. Him and Bernie are Bernie. He pointed out an excellent thread on advanced Twitter searches. So I'm going to flip over here. I'm going to hit enter.
The wrong place.
Huh? What?
You clicked on YouTube, dummy.
Yeah, I put his tweet link in the YouTube. And then he calls me out. Vaping It probably knows all of the tricks already, but for the rest of us, so you guys can hit that tweet. But what I want to do is show you this person, Tessa, is doing a service, but kind of a disservice on the other hand because of the way she's doing it. It's about 7 or 8 tweets, I think. Find the tweet on a specific topic, this, that, the other. And then she's got all of this code stuff. You don't need all that code stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you here on your search bar. And I did a quick thing here for screenshot in my arrows that Patrick hates. So you're going to go to your search bar. You're going to go Natch, N-A-C. There he is. Where is he at? There he is. So I'm going to click on him. No, I'm not, because if I do that, it'll go to his page, and we don't want that. C-H-T.
That's too much self-promotion.
N-O-R. And then we're going to look up, just for fun and kicks, we're going to look up nicotine.
Oh, you're going to get hella tweets on that one, dude.
Shh, quiet in the back. So when you hit enter on your computer, I do not know how to do this on the phone because I've never really done it on the phone, except for a quick thing for me.
Hit enter.
You hit enter and you go to the top, the latest, the people that he's tagged, photos or videos. Now, when you have nicotine and the name of the person that you're looking for, like in my instance, I look up Jerry. So you can go to these 3 little dots. I'm assuming they're also on your phone right here at the top where my little circle is with my hand. And you can go to advanced search. You also can save. We're just going to do advanced. When you click on advanced, you can do one word, an exact phrase, any of those words, none of those words, a hashtag, like I need to get drunk tonight. If Patrick had a hashtag like that, then you can use from these accounts. You can use FDA. You could, if you know them, you can I use Ash recently in FDA. I've looked up, and you can go to the account that they were tweeting from, mentioning an account. Then you can also continue scrolling down. You can also have minimum amount of replies. You can have dates. So if you knew it was, somebody asked about nicotine video from the FDA the other day on a private chat, and I was looking at the wrong years because I had narrowed it back between like 2014 and 2017. It ended up being 2019, but you can actually pick dates and go there. So if we did all that with Patrick or whoever, doesn't matter. Think of the children. And
I've never said that.
No, I haven't. So from these accounts, so we'll use me, and then we're just going to hit search instead of making it a date. When I hit search, this is the stuff that she was talking about, that it does it for you. So now it will show you the top tweets, which are probably the most looked at, or you can go to the latest, and it will, like the March 14th, I used it, and it'll show you all the other ones I used with that exact phrase. So that's a basic, quick tutorial on how to search on Twitter without that thread that she had. Hers is a little more direct for
That's
code.
That's like fancy schmancy.
Yeah, it was. I'm assuming you can do it. Now you can go in the search bar, and you can change whatever was highlighted in italics or whatever the quotes.
Yeah.
You
so
can
like
change
if
that
I
part.
do at me.
Yep.
And then I do say at Jerry. He's
Jerome Adams, MD.
Jerome Adams. Oh,
MD.
Right. I'm going to pull up a whole bunch of tweets of me.
That's correct.
Making fun of Jerome Adams, MD.
Okay, so
like
now
that one where it says, "Where did Jerome Adams go to med school?"
Right. So if you can think of one word specifically that you said about testing.
Oh yeah. So we can go over here.
So you
can
advanced
search.
Now you have to put them both back in.
Yeah, I'm going to go back over here and say testing or test.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to go down here to from me. No, because I was actually responding to him. Does it matter?
From your account to his account, I think is how you do this. If we're going to go that specific, yeah. Bless you.
I need another beer.
Is your Centrum kicking in yet? and then search should
and then hit search.
There you go.
Oh.
See, now the word test itself is the only word you used in the search, so it is darker.
Mm-hmm.
That's showing you that you found that or however many tweets with the word test.
So, okay.
To that.
So, yeah. So it says here, we have an epidemic, a public health crisis, and you are expecting people to tell the truth about breaking the law.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them. Do the test. Over a month investigating when a simple test would have shown the cause in days. It was street THC pens instead of vaping nicotine. So then I scroll down. So instead of just asking patients, this was actually started here.
Right. So you're like urine screen.
Instead of asking whether these people were using illegal products and making them afraid of criminal charges, ask MDs to do a blood or urine screen to prove that they were using illicit THC pens instead of vaping nicotine, because we were trying to use instead of vaping at the time. Before we scare smokers away from a healthier choice, he says. So instead of just asking patients what they used, you're suggesting that as trusted medical professionals, we should instill less fear in patients by doing clandestine urine. I never said fucking clandestine.
Now I want to have
anywhere in here. Did I say?
I want to have on record that he is an anesthesiologist. He would need to know. This is a need to know.
He's a gas pastor
issue. If he's going to give someone anesthesia, what they're having in their body before he does that, correct?
Yeah.
So what he's saying is, wait a minute, do you want us just to ask him? Because we can't do anything clandestine. What the fuck is wrong with you?
And then we actually did, when this happened, like on this show, we actually pulled up some studies that proved that self-reporting of illicit drugs is very low.
And they're also
it's unreliable. Self-reporting is very unreliable when it comes to
standard operating procedure. If you've got somebody coming in that can barely speak, that you're going to do tests. It's standard operating procedure.
Usually for if I fall and break my leg, they're going to do a fucking drug test on me.
Right.
It's just, pretty SOP.
They're going to do something.
Yeah.
What if you have a reaction?
Yeah. Anyway. They want to know what's in your body so that they know if they give you something else that it's not going to cause problems.
So I'm going to go East Coast for a sec. This fucking guy was the Surgeon fucking General. And he's tweeting something like that on his personal account. And he's Surgeon General at the time. Oh my God.
Why is George Lucas trending?
I don't know.
I don't know. Twitter sometimes will tell me, oh, now Willie Nelson is trending.
Well,
well,
to you.
I'll never smoke weed with Willie
That's
again.
right. Maybe THC, but not weed.
I think he's a weed guy. I think he's a weed vape. He is a dry herb vaporizer.
I imagine he is.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it. My son's jokingly said, "Here, take a hit of this and that and the other." No, if it ain't weed, I ain't touching it. And I ain't touched weed in
5 or 6 hours.
Nope, 1992. It was a Guns N' Roses Metallica show in Indianapolis.
I would have to be high to see that because I've seen Metallica like 20 times over the years. I've seen Guns N' Roses probably 10 times over the years. And each time I saw them, they were worse than the time before. And when I saw them with the last time I saw them was with Metallica, and Axl couldn't even, he was so fucked up he couldn't remember like the lyrics of his own songs. It was embarrassing. So this week, Kevin, this week JUUL has paid somewhere in the area of $87 million in various legal cases.
It's good to know that they've got that
$100 million. Now we talked about 20-something million dollars a while ago, 22.5 million a while ago for Washington State. So now they're spending 27 million in 3 different states. You know, and this is all hush money. So they spent like 22 and a half in Washington, 14 and a half in Arizona, 40 in North Carolina,
Massachusetts,
10 million in Louisiana, and then more in Colorado, California, Hawaii, Massachusetts, and Minnesota.
This is a
those are pending.
One-time payments too, right?
Right. They're settling with the state. So I'm not going to read the article. I think I've spent way too much time on JUUL already. But you know, it is, you know, people don't realize how big these fucking companies are. That they can
just write a check.
They can drop $100 million in a week in legal stuff and not even bat an eye.
Well, hush money is pretty easy to come by. Now, what my question is,
I mean, these settlements probably do come with protection clauses from future litigation if they're settling with the state.
My question to you, if you can think offhand, in some of the surveys, they actually named JUUL in the youth surveys. Now, wasn't there a report or maybe a slew of reports saying that Puff Bar was more the device that kids were allegedly using
now
to begin with for a while?
Now it is.
Oh, it's now. So is Puff Bar in the United States?
Well, they're actually manufactured in China. It's an OEM product.
There's
Puff
no
is
real.
just
There's nobody to write a check. Okay.
There's actually an article. Let me see if I can find it real quick.
No one from Puff Bar is going to write a check, is what I'm saying. So they picked the biggest guy or girl or whatever organization.
Yeah,
they went, you're going to pay.
I found it.
Okay.
I already found it. So this is from November of last year. So Puff Bar itself is 2 guys in California.
Oh, okay.
So let's see. Not now.
Maybe they're next. Who knows?
Good morning.
There's a fucking article.
Welcome to our brand new.
I'm just gonna mute the inevitable BS.
Yeah. So, because JUUL is at one time big tobacco,
still big tobacco.
Yeah. Damn me!
These people are getting free article or free commercials on my damn show.
Yeah.
All right. So here.
popular e-cigarette brand among high school and middle schoolers. It is no longer JUUL, but a company called Puff Bar, and little is known about the people or the company behind it. But there is growing scrutiny. 4 states have banned the product. It faces a probe in Congress and lawsuits in at least 3 states. Now, North Carolina's Attorney General has also launched an investigation. That was only this week. And Puff Bar, by the way, still sells fruit flavors. Teens report using the brand over JUUL by a ratio of 5 to 1. So what?
Now, let me preface this by saying that Puff Bar is not available in my big brand convenience stores.
Okay.
But they're in all of the independent mom and pop convenience stores.
Right.
That are more prone to not being reliable when it comes to identification.
That's what I said about my kid. Yeah.
Is Puff Bar, and where did it come from? In their first TV interview, we spoke with the 2 27-year-olds who say they now own the company. But in some ways, the mysteries only deepened. From the moment Puff Bar first made headlines, we set out to learn more about the company. No information about who the owners are, where they're located, fearing we wouldn't learn much. I'm doing a story about Puff Bar. For 2 years, after all, Puff Bar has operated in the shadows, listing as its mailing address first a shuttered storefront on Skid Row in Los Angeles, and more recently at a nearby P.O. box, teasing the mystery of it all on its own website. Who makes Puff Bar? The site read last year. Everyone wants to know.
Chinese factory in Shenzhen, probably.
So you can imagine our surprise when 2 young businessmen eagerly agreed to an interview.
Nice to meet you, Patrick. Hey, Tony, Nick. Nice to meet
I rebuke that guy's name is Patrick.
you. Nick Manas and Patrick Beltran are childhood friends from Southern California who say they are now sole owners and co-CEOs of Puff Bar.
There's been a lot of mystery around Puff Bar. Yeah. We're aware that there is a lot of mystery and there was a lot of shadowiness before. Us being here right now talking with you guys is our first step in kind of really building the trust with our consumers.
This is their first television interview about the company, conducted with their...
So, Kevin, your question was who owns Puff Bar? And
that's these 2 goofballs that didn't want anyone to trust them until this interview. Okay,
so
I got it.
I'm not going to play the full 8-minute interview.
Good.
I did want to know. I mean, we do actually know who owns Puff Bar.
Okay.
And yeah, they
so you
obviously if they're doing business out of a PO box and they're nationally distributed product all over the country, if not all over the world, seems like a sketchy way to do business to me.
Yeah. Just 2 guys in a PO box. That's pretty good.
2 27-year-old. Well, this is probably a year old. So 2 28-year-old millionaires with 2, an office that looked pretty bare with just 2 desktop computers and desks.
Yeah.
Is how they run their business, because they can actually do business completely overseas.
Yeah, they're drop shipping.
They have a website that's probably housed in China that people can go and do their wholesale order directly from, and it drop ships right from China.
Mm-hmm.
And all they do is collect a check.
Pretty neat.
So it's not, if you can get away with doing business that way, it's pretty awesome. I mean, but yeah, they're giving the entire tobacco harm reduction world a black eye.
Right. Meanwhile, JUUL's going to pay
look
everybody.
Pretty damn smug. They look pretty damn smug.
Well,
that one that was talking has a face that looks very punchable to me.
You get a little bit of ego when you get asked by major network to talk to each other. So
I've never been invited, so I have no personal experience with that.
I've only had it locally a few times.
I don't even get invited to advocacy seminars, Kevin.
I know. Nobody likes you, Patrick. All I know is...
Except this week, a very good friend of ours, speaking of stuff, a very good friend of ours, Mark, the pirate.
Yeah. Yes.
The pirate has been invited to be a presenter.
Yes.
I'm looking. Where's it at? Yeah.
Is
Has
it on
been
his page?
invited to speak in person in Washington, D.C., I believe, at the Global Tobacco Nicotine Forum. As what does he says? No. E-Cig Summit. I'm sorry. E-Cig Summit.
Is that on his page?
Is in DC. No, he sent me a message. He sent you a message too.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
So he's going to speak in person in DC, and he says, "I know that you can't go, but here I'm going to hook you up so that you guys can watch it for free on the internet." But yes, our very good friend Mark is going to be speaking on a panel about being a responsible business person.
Well deserved. There are others also who could fill those shoes, but very few.
Yes, and since he's our buddy,
you know what I mean. I'm not trying to slight anybody at all, but there are few that I would go, yeah, this guy knows exactly what he's talking about, and he's not going to try to bullshit anybody. So yeah. What was it? E-cigarette forum or GFN? I forget. I gotta find it. Yeah, E-Cig Summit. Yeah, okay. It's pretty big to me.
Yeah, that's a big deal. Global Forum on Nicotine. Yeah, that's a big deal.
No, E-Cig Summit.
Oh, E-Cig Summit. No, the other person is doing Global Forum.
Yep.
So yes,
like,
our friend
like
Skip
Amanda,
Murray will be doing Global Forum on Nicotine, by the way.
Like last year with the clusterfuck and Amanda and her speech, and Dave Dorn from 2014 or 15 from GFN. Although that's not educational in the direct sense, there's a lot of things that come out of these conferences that are huge.
Yeah.
And I think in my recollection, e-cigarette forum allows anyone to come, as opposed to the nicotine goofballs a few weeks ago that didn't want anyone to come.
Now I'm gonna go ahead and give you permission to drive to DC to either one of these if you want to, Kevin.
Okay.
Because I'm going to Panama for the COP.
Are you really? No shit.
If I have to sell your soul to get there, I'm going to do that.
You can offer it cheap. Good evening, Andrew. Troop. I didn't see Troop. Where'd Troop come from?
Been there the whole damn time, man.
He's been hiding. You're going to sell my soul, the whole soul, or part of it?
Well,
I might have sold it for some nicotine. I don't know yet.
You know, I actually have some nicotine here. If you want to sell it to me,
I collect souls. I'll give you someone else's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Roll that beautiful bean footage, would you?
There's bean footage.
Speaking of clusterfucks, yeah.
There's bean footage. Let's see. I do have here. I have a clusterfuck that we can play here.
You know, the past couple of years have been a slew of silliness, hasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not fair. But hey, speaking of crazy shit, here we'll do the last story, Kevin.
I've been looking forward to this.
This one is the last story.
This
is concerns after bus driver was caught vaping around students. So this is from KAIT 8 ABC. And this says it's also from Arkansas, by the way.
Wow, there you go.
A Whitehall school district parent says She's concerned after she said her children's bus driver acted irresponsibly behind the wheel. Leslie Odin told content partner KARK her son recorded a video of the driver last week who is believed to be vaping while the students rode in the back. I'm not happy. I'm not happy at all, she said. It makes me so mad. It's not even funny. Odin said her son started recording after he noticed an unfamiliar object in the driver's hand. I saw smoke coming out of his mouth. Odin's son said, "It's not okay at all. Kids could be allergic. And on another note, you're just showing these kids it's okay." Odin told KARK she took her concerns to the school principal after watching the video. He goes, "Oh no, I talked to the person over the buses. It's a COPD medication." And I'm thinking, that's not a COPD medication. KARK reached out to the Whitehall School District Superintendent Doug Doris, who noted he is unaware of the situation until Monday. Doris said once he became aware, actions were taken, but he could not elaborate on what those actions were. That's a personnel issue, and you can't talk about personnel issues, Odin said. And now her concern is the unknown. Does that mean you can just switch bus drivers? Do you put him on another bus? She told KARK these are questions she and her parents want answers to. The superintendent said the district takes matters like these seriously and encourages parents to reach out with concerns. Doris could not comment or verify the bus driver was indeed holding a vape, according to KARK. So, from this fuzzy looking picture, Kevin, that could be a box mod.
Could be.
It does not look like an inhaler.
Could be a microphone.
Could be a lot of things.
Yeah. Either way, if you're a bus driver and you're vaping, don't do it when the kids running down the bus.
Yeah, I mean, Karen's right.
Yeah.
You shouldn't really be vaping on a school bus with kids. I'm just saying.
No. And Troop, you're right. You haven't missed a show in as long as I can remember. I just hadn't seen your face.
Well, he's old. He missed last week.
No. You almost got me.
He did. He wasn't here last week.
Oh. All I know is if you're driving a friggin' bus and you're a vapor, don't do it with the kids. Do it without the kids. Get a report from Karen in her Karen van next to you.
Yeah, Karen's going to start stalking the bus driver now.
Because God forbid.
Karen's going to be following the bus from stop to stop now.
And I've seen what I assume are empty buses and bus drivers in my local little community, and they're smoking.
If there ain't nobody in the bus, I don't care. Well, I don't want them smoking in the bus though, because then the kids are going to smell like cigarettes when they get off the bus.
But if it's summer and the windows open, and I get it. It's okay.
There's going to be ashes flying through because if you spit out of a bus window in the front, it comes back into the back.
Strip search bus driver. Oh my God.
I don't think anybody wants to see any school bus driver strip search. I'm just saying. I could play the strip search video on our way out though, Kevin. I will do that.
Troop was here last week.
I don't know. There's no actual tangible evidence of that. Because there was no here last week. There was no show for you to be sitting in the chat room for.
Oh. He might have been waiting.
Well, then he would have been on YouTube or Facebook watching, but it would not have been here.
Oh.
Because here did not exist until tonight, because each show is its own here.
Here. There. If I'm here,
it's not the same address every week. It's a different address.
That's true. If I'm here and you're there, how are we together?
We are not.
We're thousands
I don't
of
want
miles
anybody
away.
to actually think that Kevin and I are together. I don't want that to happen at all.
I sold my soul to come on this show. You can't have it.
I was driving. I was not able to tweet or to post on Facebook because I was driving and I didn't want to die.
Mm-hmm.
Dying is not good, Kevin.
No, I've tried to avoid it at all costs.
I never want. I want to live forever.
Yeah. I want to watch this thing unfold.
Forever.
That's my goal. That's my
Forever.
goal.
Yeah.
Last
Queen
week's
has a
year-
song. Queen has a song, and it's "Who Wants to Live Forever" is the name of the song.
Yep.
And every time they sing that song, they ask the question, "Who
And you say me.
wants to live forever?" And I always raise my hand every time.
You say me?
Yes, I do. Me. And it's like Sheryl Crow used to have a song called "Strong Enough," and the chorus is, "Are you strong enough to be my man?" And I always say yes.
Yeah. Well,
she never ever responds.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't have any restraining orders?
No.
No. Keep trying.
I've reduced.
trying.
I'm pretty sneaky when it comes to stalking. You don't know that I'm doing it. Just I'm pretty good. Just saying.
Oh my God. No.
But hey, we did the entire show, Kevin, without showing our ugly faces.
That's pretty good. They don't need to see any of that anyway.
I think it actually worked out pretty good. I think we should just do this from now on because nobody can actually see the expression on my face, and it's like I enjoy the masks. I enjoy wearing masks now because you can't see the look of disbelief on my face at the stupidity around me when I'm wearing a mask. You think, as far as you know, I could be smiling behind that mask.
Anonymity.
I kind of like it because people think that I'm being less mean to them because I'm not there. They can only see my eyes.
Yeah.
Now, you can really tell a lot about people's expression when they have their eyes. You can still kind of, but I'm getting really good at hiding my expression by not changing my eyes.
Right. You just look confused all the time that way.
I kind of like it now because as many stupid people as there are.
Well,
I'm constantly faces at people now. Like I don't have to hide it because the mask is doing that for me.
Yeah, there's going to be more stats coming out, and those are probably going to be part of it.
Oh, see, Tom is in the chat room, and he's very upset that we're considering doing this forever.
I'll show my face. I ain't scared.
He says, "Back to normal, please."
It ain't pretty, but I'll do it. I just figured it'd be weird to do it at least once.
I think it looks, I think, I can turn my cam on. There's just one button, Here,
You're strange.
I'll look into the camera.
Look into the camera.
Here's my face. There's Kevin's face. We were not being impersonated by other people.
Well, just in case.
You do look kind of pale today. You look kind of vampirific today.
It's the freaking. I can't get this shit right. I cannot get this light right.
You look like you might have cancer or something. You look kind of sickly there.
Stop it!
Like the leukemia face.
Do you have a pimple? Is that me or him?
I got very good complexion. But I didn't shave.
You or me?
I looked kind of scruffy. It was.
Yeah.
Leave it off. That's how we. Kind of scruffy.
Scruffy bastard.
I know.
Oh, man.
But anyway, Kevin, how do you want to say goodbye to our friends tonight?
I really, really hope that if you think you're a mouse, that you get professional help. If you're vaping from your colon, I highly suggest you seek help. And if you're vaping on a bus and you're the bus driver, stop fucking doing that. That's my stuff. Other than just don't shut up, keep talking, keep tweeting, don't stop yelling.
Yep.
And really don't vape from your colon. I don't want to know about it.
Yeah, that's just because you might be tempted to go from ass to mouth, and that's just not right.
We've had enough of that for now.
Never go from ass to mouth. I'm just saying.
Put your cam back on. I'm almost finished. He must be talking to you. You gotta give him another minute because Troop is who Troop is. Almost finished.
Oh, here's the thing, boys and girls.
Ooh,
So,
Mallory.
we talked about Daniel
Mhm.
profiting from lying about his use of illicit THC vaping when he was 16 to make excuses. He's hiding the fact that he already admitted it, but now he's victimizing and attacking tobacco harm reduction. He's trying to remove safer alternatives for smokers because he broke the law. Like, he was vaping illicit THC products as an underage person, and to prevent himself from having to face any punishment, he is out there demonizing tobacco harm reduction and trying to limit options for adult smokers. There are we all know this. Like, every one of us knows this by now. We've shared articles. We've showed you how to find shit. Kevin did you a solid by teaching you the advanced search feature on Twitter. These things are easily found now. I mean, we even showed you where Parents versus Vaping or Parents Against Vaping actually expunged that dude from their website. But we are in what I would consider the dark days. The government has given FDA authority to regulate synthetic nicotine the same as naturally occurring nicotine as a tobacco product. Something created in a lab that has never even touched the dirt, that is not grown from tobacco, something that has never even seen a tobacco plant, is now being regulated in the same way as a naturally occurring plant. This is crazy. But we kept telling you, we've told you, the only way to make this shit change is an act of Congress. Well, guess what? FDA listened. FDA heard us. And FDA went to Congress and had Congress do that. If we had just been able to get our toe in the door and had Congress change the Tobacco Control Act in our direction, then we would have been able to change the world. But we couldn't even get half of the vaping industry to stand up for the future of their own businesses. Half of the industry to protect the thing that shelters them and puts food on their table. So guess what?
10th.
Not even a 10th. I was being generous. Now we're entering into this. We're going to have to figure out ways to help people not die. And we're going to have to do it on our own. Like, people like us that our only desire is to breathe better ourselves. We're going to have to be the ones that save lives now. So, if you see somebody that is smoking, you see them coughing, your friends, I just can't quit. You're going to have to be the middleman now. You're going to have to be the one that say, hey, let me help you. Because we're going to be here to do that. I'm tired of all this bullshit. I saw this week, and I've been very supportive of VTA. They still do exist. They don't do much anymore because they ain't got no fucking money. All of their funding dried up. People say, oh, well, they abandoned us. They didn't abandon you. You didn't pay your fucking dues, and they didn't have any money to do anything. So don't blame them. Blame all the other assholes that were allowing the few to defend the many. But, neither here nor there. SAFADA, VTA, I don't consider either one of them effective on a national scale. Sure, there are great people in both organizations that are doing what they can, but don't leave it up to them anymore. Pick up the phone, write a letter, do something to get some attention on this topic with your, representatives, with your legislature. Because letting somebody else do it for you, I've told you this 1,000,000 times. This is not like the Ronco rotisserie. You don't set it and forget it. You actually have to do it. So, look for ways to make a difference. And whether that's tweeting at people, whether that's writing letters. Letters are very valuable, by the way. I wish people had, remembered how to actually write letters. Because now we're at the stage now where we're trying to convey all of our thoughts in tweets that are only 220 characters or whatever. Actual letters are important. Sit down at your fucking word processor and write a letter to your representative telling them how important this is. And, you got to do something. But anyway, love you guys. Try not to be a headline next week. Don't vape while you're dropping your kid off at school, or don't let your kid vape while they're going to school, or, your bus driver. If you're a bus driver, please don't vape while you're dropping kids off at school. If you're in the industry and you're selling CBD or THC or Delta 8 gummies to kids, don't whine on Yahoo News that you're afraid your business is going out of business because you can't stop selling products to kids. All those things. But love you guys. We'll see you in 7 days, maybe. I might decide to do it. You never know. Last week I didn't do a show because I was driving. And yes, please don't vape out your bunghole, because
That's right.
I'm going to actually show a video in just a second of somebody getting their bunghole inspected.
I'm
love
liking
you. I'll see
Troop's
you.
idea.
Yeah. Be good. We'll see you next week.
See ya.
We are one nation under God, and knowing that inspires us. It inspires us to look within and find that fundamental respect and care that we should have for one another.
Bring your hands up for me. Okay, good.
Check the armpits. Take your time. Look carefully.
Okay, bring them down. Okay, let's spread your legs a little bit wider. Okay. Okay, lift your penis for me, please. Okay. Testicles.
If he's uncircumcised, ask him to pull back the foreskin.
Let's turn around.
Look at the neck, back, spinal area, and buttocks.
Okay, bend forward for me, please, and spread your buttocks.
Look for anything inserted. Observe any constricting of the rectal muscles, which may indicate the inmate is straining to retain something.
Okay.
You may see a thin string, indicating something is there. If you have any suspicion, ask the inmate to squat and cough deeply, which could dislodge it. If you're still suspicious, call for a medical search. You're not authorized to make any intrusion into the inmate's body orifices.
Who's going to protect our children?
DA Edward Burke cited Wisconsin law in a report stating what happened in Suring does not meet the definition of a strip search.
Having children stripped down to their bra and underwear is not okay in Wisconsin or any other state. My youngest, he said the other day walking into school, he was shaking.
Green Bay-based school law practitioner Tony Stefik says school officials are not required to notify parents of a search.
Some people would say, well, you're in the office. You need to call me before you question my child. That right doesn't exist.
We are not subjects or slaves of those who govern. And by God's grace, we are free. And we will fight to remain free.